Jay here, Stretford, Paddock, and this is the England versus USA watch-along. So we've brought out the big guns. We've got the RH with us.
Up the RH,
Up
big
the
dogs.
Up the RH.
I feel like you've not been on the channel with me for about a year.
I'm not going to get into it on the stream, mate. I
Seriously?
need to have a chat privately, I think.
Really?
I think so, mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it because you're big time now that you don't bother with us?
Stop,
Like,
come on, mate.
You know
Don't
what
be
I mean?
like
Have you
that.
gone back to Hollywood with these
Don't be
films,
like that,
these
mate.
David Beckham films?
Don't be like that, mate.
Right.
We'll have a chat after, yeah.
All right. Say no more. I don't want to upset you. Just as we're kicking off.
Nah,
we've also got from the XG files.
Well,
Is that all right?
I wasn't on it today.
Yeah, we've got Andre Barbera. Is that right?
La Barbera.
La Barbera. Sorry.
Barbera.
How can I forget the La?
Yeah. My middle name's La.
Right.
That's not really.
If anyone don't know, Ronaldo Brown and Stephen Alson, and we're both feeling the pain today because Stephen Alson wasn't on the brew with me. He's busy with Evra, apparently.
Yeah.
And then they've done the XG files over in Qatar, and you've been sat here
And I've
with
been
us chumps.
upstairs doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous, to be fair, Steve and Ronaldo in Qatar, but I'd rather be here with you, lads.
Exactly.
I love that. Thanks,
to
mate.
be
At
over
least
there.
someone wants to spend time with me, you know what I mean?
And
That's why we had to get you on.
last but not least, we've got our very own City fan, and it's very rare we have a City fan on this show or on this channel. Twice in a week as well, but you know it's England, isn't it? So we thought, why not?
Yeah,
How are you? And McGinley, even you're not just the City fan. And how are you doing?
I'm
You
doing
good?
good. I'm very honoured. I've been honoured with, if you probably noticed
Yeah.
at home, the largest mini mic stand that they could find.
That is huge, to be fair.
I believe this is just in case it kicks off because I'm outnumbered 3-1.
So that's a bit of a leveler for you. So you can take me and Andrew out with that. And then
Is this just like, if you look at all the microphones,
It
is
is
this
getting
like,
smaller,
you
isn't it?
know, City's league position versus United?
See,
Wow.
starts already.
You can do a human flagpole on
We're not
that.
here to talk about the league. No one cares about that. We're here to talk about the World
No,
Cup.
we are.
England versus, obviously, the USA. We've got the team out, the team news, but it's basically the same team as last time, innit?
It is, yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's the exact same.
Yeah, there you can see Pickford, Trippier, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Bellingham, Rice, Saka, Mount, Sterling, Kane. I'm not going to go through all the subs. You know all the subs. Right, what goes on with the subs? Does anyone miss out?
No, they're all on the bench.
Are they all on the
they're all
bench?
on the
If
bench.
you're in the
Yeah,
squad,
yeah,
you're on the
bench.
bench. You know, so there's
Yeah.
not like...
Chair after chair
It's crazy
after chair
thing for
after
ruling
chair.
now. Like they've done it, and they brought this in a few seasons ago, and they actually made it that you had to have a bench big enough to fit all the subs on. So they were gradually expanding it. So a lot of lower, because it applied to all leagues as well. So a lot of lower league clubs were facing a big bill to expand their bench,
Really?
just so they could fit. Because you know, your normal like Sunday league bench can fit like 3-4 people on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But technically that's illegal now, so it's got to be big enough to fit.
You know
on.
what, though? What about Ramsdale? Is he on the, am I blind here or what? He's not in there, is
No,
he?
I think there's another bit.
page.
Oh,
There's another-
sorry.
You can't, just
Sorry.
like you can't fit them all on one
Technical
bench.
issues.
We can't fit them all on one
Sorry,
graphic.
lads. All right.
So we've had to, in a minute, you'll see, I think...
Is this like a train, you know, when you're waiting to see your train, page 1 of 2,
Yeah,
when you're waiting...
there you go.
waiting-
Ramsdale
Sorry,
and Conor
sorry.
Gallagher.
That was me.
No,
Apologies.
you know what, right? I seen it
Apologies.
the other day, and I think it was Rashford and someone else, Mount or
Yeah.
whatever, and I was thinking, oh, we've not done the right
You know what?
graphic.
Shout out to Eve, to be fair.
Where's
He's
Rashford?
worked his backside off, Anna.
Yeah.
Getting it going. So, sorry, mate. I'm not digging you out or anything. Good work. bud.
Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think about the England team. Gareth, do you think, to start with you, Gareth Southgate, right to stick with the same team after that big win over Iran?
Yeah, I think so. I think you don't change something that's not broke, do you?
No.
So I think that, you know, people could have come into that team easily, but for me, winning, the great result against Iran, you go to the next one, you work hard and you get the other win, and you've seen the results this morning, like with the Wales and Iran result, got a chance to really go through this evening, really. So, no surprises from me.
You're well up on all your football, Dre.
Am I?
Yeah, you are. You're
I
what
watch
can
it every
only be
now and
described as a fanatical USA fan.
Yeah, I mean, come on, America.
Yeah. Seriously, so, America, USA, do they offer much? Do you know anyone of this team other than Timothy Weah?
Yeah, well, they've got Weah, they've got, what's his name?
Pulisic?
Pulisic, yes.
Christian Pulisic?
Why can't I think of his name? Plays Weston McKennie.
There you go.
But they both came off injured. Are they starting today?
Starting
they
today,
both came
they
off
shook
injured.
it off.
Yeah, I don't know. The USA are 100% better than Iran.
Right.
So I think England, I don't know, basically I watched last week, and after watching everyone play, I went from thinking England have got no chance in this tournament to thinking, gee, they actually might do all right. But then I think after watching them play a better team than Iran today in USA, there's a chance that I might start thinking, oh, I'm not sure again. Which is basically what I'm trying to say is the USA are decent.
Okay.
You just heard a man there getting splinters from sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
I was
could go
here.
either way.
I was there.
Yeah, could
I
go
was
either way.
here,
They
and I've
could
ended
do
in the
well, they
middle.
could not do. You don't know, do you? Fair enough. And you said that you thought Iran were actually all right. I think England made them look bad. I mean, or poor. I mean, they got a good result against Wales today. Showed some bits, didn't they? Wales weren't great, though, were they?
But I think the problem with that is that means a little bit more pressure for England to win the game tonight, because otherwise, like Wales, that last game, nothing to lose. You know, first time at the World Cup in like 50 years, whatever it is. You know, they're going to want to go on with some good memories, and you know, a win here, England's through. That's it taken care of. But I don't think that's a dead cert at all. And somebody, not many people have mentioned actually, he's not starting today, but he's on the bench for USA, number 7, who is the son of a former City player who plays at Borussia Dortmund, which sounds a little bit familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, Giovanni Reina.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go down the George. Didn't George Weah play for City for about 3 games?
No, George Weah did. Yeah. So I can't take credit for Timothy, but yeah.
What was his dad, Claudio Reina? Was it?
Claudio Reina, and his mum's an ex-professional for the women's national, the USA women's team as well. Yeah. So like genes are very good.
Yeah.
And
pedigree there.
Yeah, and he was born in Sunderland, so he could have played for England, and he's got like Portuguese, Argentinian, and Irish descent, but he's gone for USA. And he's if he comes on, I'm going to be. I'm not going to say he's Phil Foden-esque, but amongst that squad that they've got, the Americans, he's the one player that they could bring on that could really change things up. So just be cautious if they bring him on.
All right, okay. Well, I'm glad we've got a bit of a scouting report there, because I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know a lot about the USA.
I was
like Pulisic and
borders Canada and Mexico.
Thank you. Right.
I was quite, you know what, first half against Wales, it was Wales, I was quite impressed with him. Like I thought like the athleticism and the quality surprised me a little bit, but they died a death.
You know what disappoints me?
Go on.
USA always used to have amazing kits. Right, it was almost like
they got a well nice kit.
No, but they had even better ones. Like in the 90s, they had like proper stars and stripes.
Oh yeah, in the 90s it was proper, wasn't it? Like, do you remember?
Like their kit.
Was it 94?
It was just like they were like, look, we're not going to win any fans through football.
In England,
let's win fans through fashion.
Yeah,
that was, I think, that was their plan.
That's a decent.
That's not their kit.
Is it not? Is that the training?
I know my kits, and that's not the update kit.
Oh, apparently we've got an old kit on the thumbnail there.
Come on, he's worked hard. He can't keep digging it out.
He's not happy with that one.
You said he was an expert.
He told you.
There we go.
Football. Nah. USA.
US.
Right. Is that not from the other day?
Yeah.
The England picture. Did you just ask me? Is that England?
No, I thought you were criticising.
No, obviously that's the New England kit because it's from 3 days ago. The USA one.
The commercialisation of football is ridiculous. A new kit for every game.
Yeah, every 3 days they change the kit. I feel sorry for the kids.
Do you remember when there was like a period in like the 2000s where it was like every 2 years you change your kit? So you change your away kit 1 year, and then your home kit, and your away kit, and your home kit.
But I remember even when that came
nice.
in, when that came in, people kicked off about that even back then.
But like that was like, I feel like that was all right. Now it's like 3 kits, bang, every season, and then they'll like sometimes do another kit as well.
Do you remember there was? I mean, going way back, there was time. Was it First Choice or something like that? First Advice were City sponsors, and they went bust.
Right.
And City had to carry on playing with a sponsor on the shirt because they didn't have an alternative. You know, that would never happen these days.
They're not just peel it off. Pull out the stitches.
Just what you did, put it in the wash 50 times, and then it just falls off itself. That's the trick.
I'll give it to my mum, she'll do it, and it'll just be off in one. Like some of my kits from when I was a kid.
You can see there from the little graphic there, the emphatic start is just changed now, but the 6-2 win over Iran, I think, is one of the... Is it joint biggest or one of the joint... Second biggest. After the last World Cup, is
6-1 Costa Rica.
6-1 win against Costa Rica. Panama, sorry. In the last World Cup. So, Gareth Southgate, he's had a few wins. Under Southgate, we've got to the semi-finals of the World Cup. We've got to the finals of a Euro. Or of the Euros, I should say. Do you rate him, Gareth Southgate? Because I always feel like quite a lot of people don't fancy him.
I'm going to sit on the fence again.
You're going to say he could be all right, but on the other hand, he might not.
Nah, look, right. Steve always goes on about this. He's always, he's only ever beaten Germany. He's only ever beaten Germany in a big game in a major tournament. And that is a good point. Like, England are one of those teams, and the Gareth Southgate, they'll dispatch the easy teams fairly easily most of the time. Yeah. And when they face a big team, they usually bottle it. But you can't ignore the fact that Gareth Southgate has got England to a final and a semi-final of 2 major tournaments. You can't ignore that.
No, I think Steve's got a point because we've
But
had
I get Steve's point
easiest
as well.
draws. But I'm old enough, I don't know if you are, Ant, to remember not qualifying in 94, losing to, all right, Beckham got sent off and all the rest of it, whatever. But an Argentina team that wasn't vintage, losing, getting knocked out of the Euros to like, was it Romania or Portugal, whatever, losing on penalties to
that Ronaldo wink.
Yeah. You know, we've had a lot of results against teams we should have beaten where the results were poor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
so
I
you
get
can't
that.
take it for granted when you're an England fan that you're going to go, oh yeah, we're going to beat Colombia, we're going to beat Sweden, we're going to beat, you know, admittedly not a great Germany team, but a Germany team. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of do feel that Gareth Southgate deserves credit for a final and a semi-final because I've never seen that in my lifetime before. England doing, you know, getting to the last stages, I mean the very last stages of 2 tournaments. And also, I think a lot of the criticism comes from this Nations League, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch any of it.
No,
I wasn't
They're just
interested.
friendlies,
I wasn't
aren't
interested
they?
in
They're
it.
literally just friendlies.
Like, I didn't give a shit.
What I will say about Southgate having, you know, players interviews, I know it's easy to look at that, but he's changed the culture around the place. I think, you know, when you look back at previous players' interviews and they're saying that, you know, the United lads was on one table, City lads are the other, you know, the Cockney lads are down south was on the other side. I think, you know, he's changed it now. He's brought everyone together.
Have you heard about this game that they're playing in the training camp? Right.
What is that?
It's basically, I can't remember what it's
Scrabble.
called, but no. So Jack, they were chatting to Luke Shaw about
So
it today.
Jack Grealish
right?
had one if it is.
So basically, what you have is one of you is a village, some of you are villagers, some of you are wolves, and one of you is a witch. Right?
Really?
And this is the game that they play.
Bet the lads are happy
And
about that,
Luke,
Hey.
Luke Shaw tried to explain it, right?
I remember guys like, for fuck's
Right.
sake.
I'm going to try and find these
Okay.
quotes.
So
What a watch I'm a celebrity, don't they?
Yeah, but it's nuts. I couldn't understand it. But the thing is with it is he was really into it, and it sounds like that's the kind of thing because they're not playing PlayStation, they're not on their phone, they're actually having to interact with
together.
people, and I think that's the thing with Southgate. I don't think Southgate is a tactical genius.
No.
I think Southgate's power is to as a team leader, as a leader of a group of people, and to bring them together. And we said, like you were saying, like changing the culture. I remember seeing him on the Super Bowl footage a couple of years ago, and he was just out watching the Super Bowl, and he was really interested in how the Americans did stuff there, and he changed it. So you had that thing before Russia where everybody had like 3 minutes with each player, and you just moved around. And you didn't just bring one player out; you brought them all out, so they all felt, and all the media got access that they wanted. And then just little things like there was no kind of like Fabio Capello, like you can't have your wives and girlfriends. It's more family orientated.
He's definitely changed the culture.
No, I
Certainly has.
think there is a certain. I felt this in 2018, likability to the squad that I haven't experienced as an England fan. And listen, we're all partisan. We all have our preferred, we all prefer players from our own clubs. I think that's just. Thank you for that, Ethan. He's fixed the kit. There you go. You see, quick
nice
turnaround.
kit,
Dre
that,
makes
He
his.
doesn't mess
So
around.
what,
Ethan's a good
What do you think of
worker,
that
you know.
kid?
He is. Listen,
Ethan's very good at his
Ethan
job.
is literally the best producer we've got in this room
Honestly.
right now.
What
He is,
a
and I'll
man.
stand by that. No, but
You're
well
saying
done.
about likability. though,
Yeah,
'cause
like in 2018,
I agree
I
with
felt
that.
the squad was pretty likeable. You might have one or two, but you're not too keen on. But generally, it seemed like a good set of lads, quite socially aware, just easy on in interviews, like quite likeable. Yes, some of them play for your rivals, whatever. But I wasn't like I was looking and going, oh, I fucking hate him or whatever.
Yeah, like you used to.
I'd watched John Terry, Steven Gerrard,
Yeah.
some of the others, and I'm sure there was players who play for United at UMite or whatever, and go, I can't stand him, or can't stand this group of players.
I
There
can
was
do
an
your
arrogance-
list, but
yeah.
game starts in a minute,
Exactly.
so-
There was an arrogance to them. There was an unlikability. A lot of them had been done for stuff off the pitch and stuff, and it was like, I'm not really warming to these players, other than the ones that obviously play for United or for City or whatever. But these lot, you think, they are decent lads. They are good. There's a likability to them. They're having a good time.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, in the Euros, they seem to enjoy themselves. In the World Cup, they're enjoying themselves. And you can buy into it, can't you?
It's the fact
Do
they
you know
get
what I mean?
on. I
Like,
think it's the fact they get on as
Yeah.
well. And like with like everything going on social media now, like you see it a lot more.
Yeah.
And because you see them, like you see, I don't know, Rashford and Trent having a bit of banter
Having
or
a
something.
laugh.
Yeah.
Like a Liverpool and a United player. Like it makes you buy into it a bit more because you just sort of think like.
Well,
they're
Rio
mates,
said it,
innit?
didn't he, on BT? He said him and Frank Lampard were mates growing up, both at West Ham, went Iron Apple and all that together. Like, we don't need to go into that. Just like Bezzies.
Can do.
Yeah, but when he went to obviously Lampard went to Chelsea, Rio goes to United.
Didn't
And just stopped
did they?
talking. And he
Yeah.
said, even when you're away with England, you don't really sit with each other and you just have that sort of like
Crazy, innit?
divide, which can't be healthy for a team.
There is a mindset there. I remember Micah Richards talking about this when he broke into the England squad, and he was playing with Lampard, and then went away, had a great debut, then came back, played against Chelsea, saw Lampard in the tunnel, and Lampard blanked him.
Yeah.
And that day, I think Chelsea stuffed us like 6-0, and Richards had that nightmare of a game, but he's like, because that threw him so much,
Mentally,
just
yeah.
that the psychological thing. But Lampard was just focused on that. Maybe that's a bit of maturity and a bit more
Experience.
I get
in
the
what he was
club
going
thing.
through.
I understand that. But I think when you go away for your country, you'd want a bit of...
I think you leave that to the side, don't you? Because
Yeah.
you're playing for your country.
But I think that's
I don't know if they did.
It's a difficult thing to switch off, and I think
Yeah,
this
it
is
is.
why Southgate's got that
I think
really well.
I think the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
culture of football's changed as well.
Right,
Like,
okay,
in terms of
definitely.
like
You
the
think
young
there's-
lads' social media and all this. Like imagine
Yeah.
Keane getting along with these guys.
Anybody.
You know what I mean?
Keane didn't get along,
Anybody,
Keane
like,
didn't get along with his own
the
teammates.
culture.
That's why he ended up
His
leaving
dog's
United.
just about
changed.
tolerate
Yeah,
him.
you know,
The
Keane's
culture
idea of getting along
changed,
with everyone was leaving the World Cup in Japan because he was ready to
Because
chin
there was
Mick
like one
McCarthy.
corner flag.
Do you know what I mean? Which I still back Keane with,
I
by the
can't
way.
wait till they make it out into a film.
Oh,
and it
listen.
all comes out.
Can you imagine him walking out and just be like,
Mick
fuck's
McCarthy's like,
sake.
let's have a team meeting, clear the air. By the end of it, Keane's left.
No, the culture's definitely
Do you know-
changed.
no, I agree though. It has,
100% it
and I
has.
think you know.
Do you think the culture is that it's more about the team than it is about the ego? And I think we're seeing that.
I think what other lads have got egos. I think, but it's one of them where
But
you
it-
just put it aside for the country, and Southgate deserves a lot of credit for that. I think, you know, basically saying like, leave your club stuff at the door, lads. You're gonna come in here now, and this is for your national team. Because the one thing that, going back to Southgate, one thing that I think they missed a fantastic opportunity in the final of the Euros. From, like you said, tactically, he just went so defensive. He was there for the taking. Whereas, you know, I know it's Iran, but I quite liked the way they played. Played on the front foot. They played with the wingers. Sacco, I was quite surprised when Sacco started. Saka started, but mate, he was brilliant every time he got the ball. He was going
He's
1v1
one
and he was
player
positive, you know.
Who's really impressed me over these last few years, because last couple of years, I should say. Because when I first saw him at Arsenal come through, and Arsenal fans have this thing, they overhype all the youngsters, don't they? So Maitland-Niles is the best fullback you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah,
wait
yeah,
till
of
you
course,
see.
yeah.
I mean,
Do
to
you
be
know
honest,
what I mean?
we're
Wait
all
till you-
guilty of
No,
it.
we are,
So
but
to-
I always
to-
feel with Arsenal fans.
You said
it's
that
because
about
everyone
Wan-Bissaka,
much,
aren't you?
so it's kind of like
You
whenever
said
they
that
get
about
anything
Wan-Bissaka,
to get
didn't you?
excited about. it's
I
like-
stand by that.
Yeah.
But no, like, they do that. So I always think, like, okay, is he as good as they're making out or whatever? And there's some a few times, looks all right. Did pretty well for England, but this season in particular, I thought he's been really good. And last season, sorry, we came to Old Trafford, he was phenomenal. And that opening game, I mean, got himself a couple of goals.
Brilliant.
Tearing
But-
it up, wasn't he?
Just
But-
the way they
delivered.
played, he just played
Yeah.
on the front foot. They played
Yeah.
with positivity, and it was good. It was.
Yeah. And I think for me, the thing that summed up that game for me that I took away from it was Wilson coming on, having that chance and laying it off to
Great
Grealish.
shout.
And
Yeah, very good,
that
yeah.
for me says a team. That says
Because
more than
what
anything
was we
else.
5-1 up at the time?
Yeah.
If you put your foot
Debut,
through that, no
yeah.
one's blaming you.
Exactly. And that's the
You know
thing,
what I
you
mean?
know.
Yeah.
Get yourself a World
Yeah.
Cup goal.
Yeah, how many
100%.
like Sterling's only just got a World Cup goal for the first
No,
time.
you're
Yeah,
right.
you know, it's like so it doesn't. You're not guaranteed to it. So that says to me that they're in it as a team, and I think this is a thing over the last few years watching football. It started to shift. Like and it is a team game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But for a while, whether it's like a hangover from the Galacticos or whatever, it was all about superstars and personalities. And actually now, it's not about, and you've just been through it with Ronaldo. It's not, doesn't matter how good that player is. If you've not got harmony there, people aren't, pulling up trees for each other.
No, he's right. It's a really good example of that with Callum Wilson as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we played Newcastle, he was doing my head in, Callum Wilson. He was time wasting, doing little dirty little tricks and all that. But then, he come away with England, he's doing his job, setting up a goal where he could have got himself one. Fair play to him. We've got Seth Rosanoff in the super chat. Says, Yank and United fan living in Vietnam. US has no chance, but I do like Weah. Peace from Vietnam. There you go.
Peace.
Right back at you.
Brad Sundberg says, I don't care about the World Cup, but if the US play the way they did versus Wales, they will get a beat down. So that's quite an American saying, isn't it? A beat down. You say that where you're from? Where are you from? Leamington?
Yeah, we say we all talk in American accent.
They are. Is it like beat down?
Beat down.
Beat down, man.
Yeah, like I talk like this, and then when I say beat down, I say beat down.
Did you say beat down in Droylsden, RH?
Nah.
Too many
Beat
syllables in it.
Not a chance.
He's right though. He's right.
What do you make of all this little huddle and all that before the game? You into all that, RH?
That's quite an American thing.
Do you encourage that in your coaching?
And look at the bench. Look how long the bench is.
See?
Look at that for a whoa. That is actually a joke. If you're at the end and you want to like speak to the guy at the end, you can't just go.
I wanted to ask you actually, RH,
What, mate?
about your boy.
get up and walk.
Your boy didn't get a game, did he, Delo?
No,
The other day.
mate, no, he
Bit
didn't.
annoying.
No.
He
Fred did all right, though, didn't he?
Fred
He
did
has to
well.
get
If
one
anyone
in this
doesn't-
game.
Whoever don't
Cancelo
know,
was shocking, wasn't he?
RH does a bit of coaching, done coaching with Delo, with Fred, with Bruno, another one of
Yeah,
your boys, did
Bruno,
well, 2 assists
Alanga.
there. Elite coaching. We'll put a link in the description for RH
cheers. Look
Elite
at this.
Coaching.
This is why I love coming
Hey,
on here. Not
make
me.
sure you
Not been
check
on
him
here in a
out. Up
while.
the RH.
Cheers, bud.
I mean,
Up the RH in the comments right
yeah.
now.
We're off as well, by the
Right
way.
then, bit of
Any
Yeah.
merch? Yeah. No, up the RH merch. People are asking for it, and
Yeah, we've got a new
we'll have
range
another
coming
chat.
out. We've got a Black Friday deal on the
Yeah.
RH merch when we get
Say
it.
it every time I come on. No one listens to me.
When we get it, you get 50%
get a white
off
mug
of
and a
every
Sharpie.
5
Just
items you
start,
buy.
right. Up the RH, then make a little stand outside
Honestly, mate.
on the street.
Be sold out, mate.
Cash only.
Be mental.
We'll get a card machine.
Be queuing all the way down Market
We're slacking, we're
Street.
sorry.
feel-
We're not sorry enough. That's the issue. I'm trying to encourage a bit more capitalism.
think there's a style.
Capitalist thinking.
Yeah.
I think there's I'm going to go away from my merchandise stuff. There's a style as well, the way he plays Southgate with these.
Yeah.
He wants them to play, doesn't he?
I just think it'll be interesting. Say England win today, right, and then that means they're through.
Yeah.
They've got a game against Wales where Southgate could just play the same team again, or he could experiment a bit. Because if you think about think about some of the attackers who just haven't started yet, like Foden,
He would have to
Grealish,
give them a
Rashford.
game,
Like
wouldn't
you've got to try some of these players out. Because I don't know, like this team might not necessarily work against the big guns. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where, like I was saying earlier, that's where England have failed. Like maybe England can break down these teams, but then maybe they have to like play on the counter against teams like France and stuff.
I think if they win this, mate, like I think he's got to experiment with the side 'cause it's tournament football. He needs to manage his squad as well. I think that's important. 'Cause I'm surprised Kane had that injury, the ankle injury. I was surprised to see his name on
Yeah.
the team sheet. But I'm glad he's playing. But that looks a bad one. That
He
you
did-
see the clip of that. It looks a bad one with his ankle.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
against Iran. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't score, did he?
No.
Here's a bigger question. What's happened to Southgate's waistcoats? That's what it's
That
all
was
about.
Why in Qatar? He was in Russia.
a
No, but
vibe,
that was,
wasn't it?
that was a thing. Like Marks and Spencer's, didn't they sell out a waistcoat? So while it was
Everyone was
on.
loving a waistcoat,
Yeah.
weren't they, 4
Yeah,
years
he
ago?
was, yeah,
It
yeah.
was proper. Scotty, who I was working with at the time, he used to wear a waistcoat all the time.
And you'd think as well, because is he an MBE, OBE now, something after all
He's
that?
got some
He's
amount.
some kind of
QBE,
honour.
I think.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd sort of yeah, he'd up the dress sense a little bit.
QB.
Yeah.
QBE.
But you'd think if you were had those kind of honours, you'd dress a bit smarter. And
Yeah.
he seems to have gone the other way.
Nah, I think now he's more relaxed.
Thing is, you
He's
cannot wear.
Yeah.
He's like,
a
I don't need
waistcoat
to
in Qatar.
wear me waistcoat now.
No,
I've made it.
So if
Do you know what I mean?
so you're saying if he wins this, he'll just
It'll be like,
turning
he'll
up
just turn up in
like
flip flops and a pair of
flip-flops
shorts.
and
If they-
Tesco carrier
Yeah,
bag.
Here's a
like,
question.
lads, you know the team picks
If they
itself.
got to the final, will he whip it out?
Oh, bro,
Nah.
that's a 1-goal lead. That.
Will he whip
That's
it out?
an advantage.
Shame laughing because I said whip it out. So childish, aren't they?
No,
Are you
no.
laughing at him saying whip it out?
Whip it out.
He's talking about a
Look at
waistcoat,
him. Yes,
not his knob.
No, man.
Get a
Oh,
grip.
Jesus.
Sorry about
Sorry.
that. Age.
Sorry.
I can't believe you
It's
said get a
fine.
grip after that. That's just.
Oh, carrying
So
it on.
juvenile. Honestly.
What do you think of that little blue thing on the sleeve that goes from dark blue to light blue to white?
It's wasted on me. I'm colourblind.
Oh.
Literally.
What do you think?
Looks like
Yeah,
a training
nice.
top.
Pattern, isn't it?
That kit's nice, isn't it? I like that.
All right, so here's a question for
Go
you.
on.
We're 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
One thing that has been, more than anything else that stood out to me from this tournament so far is the ridiculous amount of injury time. So let's have a sweepstake now.
Good lad.
I'm going for 8 minutes at the end of the 1st
I'll
half.
stop that. I'll go 9.
All right.
Oh, end of the first half?
End at first half.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
we could do it again at half time, can't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 6.
I wanna-
Six?
Which
I-
I don't think's happened yet.
Pathetic.
I
I
don't
want to
think
say
it's
7.
7.
Yeah.
All right.
So what,
Right.
6,
7,
7.
8, 9.
Yeah, but
Oh.
what's the winner getting?
Yeah.
What's the winner getting?
Oh, really?
Cookie. One of his cookies
One
on
of
there.
the cookies. The winner gets a cookie.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got some cookies over there, yeah? In the American theme.
Yeah, I
So
like
we've got
that.
some cookies there.
Cookies and milk.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you get milk in the second half. That's
Yeah.
Oh, if I win,
You
I'm
have to
saving
wait.
mine.
Yeah.
Save your cookie.
Saving.
And then you've got it should all be just in time for bedtime as well. Then.
Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think about the start so far. I mean, there's not much to report.
What's your
about
thoughts on Pickford? There's
Jordan
one.
Pickford.
Pickford. Very posh the way I said that.
I don't. Yeah. Like,
Pickford. What's your
Pickford
thoughts
like
on
Downton
him?
Abbey.
Was you surprised when he started or not?
I think he's one of Southgate's faves in it, and I don't see a reason to drop Jordan Pickford. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, I don't. I mean, like the first game. Was you surprised?
I can give you a good reason.
You're
why
a
not.
goalkeeper, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ant's a goalkeeper.
I would
Oh,
give
yeah.
you a good reason to not drop
Cat.
Pickford.
Go on.
Right? It's like I'd be terrified to tell him who's dropped.
Would you?
Because he's a bit.
He is
like,
a bit in it.
Yeah. And
He's
he
on
was
the
like,
edge.
yeah. And the thing is, he's like, you look at him and you think I could have him, but like when he's focused, no, not a chance. So that's probably why fear.
Also,
That's what he's
as
got
well,
to say.
I don't think you can bring in a new keeper for the World Cup. Because it Ramsdale or is it Pope, the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them, yeah.
You know what?
They
I
haven't
think
got many caps between them,
Yeah,
have they?
but both of them are great. I think the thing with Pickford is he hasn't really let England down. Like, and I think with the goalkeeping position is, every goalkeeper has a howler, as a nightmare. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I mean, there's very few exceptions to where a goalkeeper having a nightmare and then being binned. The one I can think of is Karius at Liverpool.
Karius,
He's just
wow.
sort of
Would
disappointed.
you remember?
He had a nightmare,
Do you
didn't he?
remember in 2010, he brought in Robert Green as a left sort of field decision.
Yeah.
Capello started him against USA,
Well, he messed up.
and he messed up completely.
Yeah.
And that was the end of his England
David
career.
James used to do it a lot for England.
Yeah. And brought in
Seaman.
Scott
2002.
Carson, they brought him in once, didn't they, for the Croatia
'cause
qualifier?
I think they only
Robinson.
brought him in because his
Paul
dad
Robinson.
made him in,
Paul
didn't he? Because his
Robinson.
dad
Neville.
got bet
Neville
on him
passed
playing
that.
for England one
Alright.
day.
But then
Bobble.
yeah,
Bobble City, yeah.
that's what I mean. It can happen, can't it? So I think for once we've not for once.
Let's not jinx him here
Let's,
now.
you know,
We're
the
killing
The
him.
thing
We're
is,
killing
you'd
him
just
here.
be
aren't we?
changing it for the sake of it, wouldn't you? If you changed Pickford
know what, the
to
reason
any
why-
of those other keepers, it'd just be for the
The
sake
reason
of
why I
it.
was saying it is
There's no
because
point.
there was a few decisions in the squad where he picked him on, like you said, Jay, like, trusting, loyalty.
Yeah.
He's been to other tournaments where he's left lads out that necessarily playing well.
Yeah.
So that's why the reason why I asked that, because for his club, for me, he might not have been as good as Ramsdale, for example, for his club. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why there was logic behind what we're saying. But it's different. I get it's different.
He has his core, though, doesn't he, Southgate, of, I'd say, Pickford,
Maguire's
Stones, Maguire, Kane, Sterling, and probably
Rice.
now Saka as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're like
and then
nailed on.
Rice is
Yeah.
probably the only
Rice
other
is
one you
one
put
of
in.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Like, they're
And
you know,
Bellingham now, it looks like, will be.
but he has had, and I think that's a
for
good
that
thing because I
spine.
think part of the problem with England managers in the past is this flavour of the month thing doesn't work if you just keep rotating your team.
Do you think that's
all the time.
why? So Ivan Toney suffered because of that.
Maybe.
Because he hasn't got that.
Might have
'Cause I
had
think
something to do with his betting, I think.
Well, they say this. Gareth Southgate's denied it, and the FA
He's just
have
put a
denied
bet
it.
on this,
Has he?
Inside knowledge.
He put a bet on himself not going to the World Cup 10 minutes before the teams were announced. Cleaned up.
He'll be getting a job in government
like
next.
232 infringements or whatever you want to call it.
That's ridiculous.
There was
isn't it?
one. Have you seen the clip? The one where he's playing away from home and he handballs it on the line or something.
Stop
You're
it.
joking.
I swear to God,
What, he
yeah.
grabs the ball and
He
volleys
grabs-
it into
No, I
his own
swear
goal.
to God, he handball or something last minute.
Really?
I swear to God, yeah.
I mean, that's
Is
He
it-
handballed,
does it look obvious
No,
when you see
mate,
the
he
clip
may as
now?
well catch it. May as well be a
Jeez,
keeper.
That's bad, that, innit?
Fair play.
It's
What a
weird
man.
how that all just came out in like.
Yeah, it's
But
bad,
I
that.
think
All
part
like
of that is
100 or
though,
whatever
as soon as you
in
get
like
to
one
that
day.
level, there's more scrutiny, and
Yeah.
people will go back and look at stuff.
Yeah,
people
yeah,
will
that's
come
so
out
true.
Yeah,
and
it's
try
like-
and make something.
That's
of
it, because like some of it you could get. There was a kid wanting the FA Cup because for one FA Cup game, because like this team, like this proper non-league, like tier 13 team or whatever, got to the first round, so you could bet on bookings.
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
kid's backed himself to get books.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Right.
just flown into a tackle like first
it's
thing,
mental,
like,
innit?
2-footed, like no
He's
need
just
at all.
buzzing 'cause he
Like
knows
yeah,
he
and
knows
then all of a
it's
sudden like. He's told all his mates as well, so they've all bet on it. So there's all this like
Controversy.
spiking betting on this one guy to get booked. Like there's 30
It
grand or
happens a
something's
lot,
gone
doesn't
on
it?
it.
Yeah.
And then like
Happens
they've,
first bit.
yeah, they've. But didn't Kieran Trippier got done for it, didn't it?
I
Remember?
think so. There's a few he's been
Yeah,
done.
Remember when
he had a short
he was
ban.
sharing his WhatsApp messages?
It was when he was
what
in,
happened?
when he was
Because
playing
Joey
in
Barton
Spain,
was done
wasn't
as
it?
well.
Yeah, because I
It's
think
happened a few times.
Kieran
hasn't it?
Trippier just said to his
Yeah.
mates, like, look, you know, if you fancy it, it's a
Yeah.
bit done deal. I'm going to Atletico or whatever.
Do you remember
Pile a bit of money on it.
was it the Pakistani cricket player who bowled the 3 no balls in a row?
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Was all his mates on
his
it?
foot was like 2 meters over the crease. Just like three in a row.
That's just obvious. Though,
and like
innit?
just
It's
everyone
weird,
knew.
innit?
Everyone on the pitch is just like, what's he doing?
What's he doing?
And he just got like banned for life or something.
But Letizier admitted it, didn't he? He said he bet on himself to give away the first throw in, and he took the
booted
kick
out.
off, went to boot out, but didn't. England are in here.
Go on then.
Oh!
Oh.
Bellingham.
No, it's
Is
Kane.
it Kane, wasn't it?
Was that a save?
I thought
That,
it was Birmingham then.
He's the number 2 at Arsenal, isn't he? This keeper, is he?
Oh, Birmingham.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's
It's
a
not.
great
It's,
block,
it's
by
a
the
block,
way.
that.
Yeah.
Is the keeper the number 2 at Arsenal? Is that right? Is that correct?
Number 3, Turner. Can we have a little? In fact,
Turner,
I'll have a look.
yeah,
I've
he is,
Got
I
access to
think.
the internet here.
Timmy Turner.
He says that, but this is if you saw the platinum celebrations for the Queen when Craig David was doing that DJ set and nothing was on. Same here. There's not even a real
I think
laptop.
he's
It's just
number
like a
2, I
shell
think.
that
Really?
plays with.
If I'm right here,
Just
my
trying to look
knowledge is
important.
not-
Yeah, he's at Arsenal. He is.
Nearly as good as yours. Number 3 then. Number 3.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Because they
My
did.
knowledge is nearly as
They
good
did
as
bring
Maguire.
yours.
Zach
Go on, Maguire.
Stefan, did they?
They did.
go on.
Go on, 8.
Go on, Addy.
Go on, Addy.
Go on,
Go
Addy.
on.
Oh. What's he doing? Why
You
are
know what?
shooting from
Oh,
there?
Harry
It's like-
Maguire's offside.
You watch that? That was like he ran out of breath before he could do the pass. He was doing so well then, and it's just like
I think I genuinely looked like he's thinking, what the fuck's going on here?
What am I doing
Look at
here?
him use his body here.
Look at
Pulled
him.
his shoulder.
Hey,
Oh.
little shimmy there, there you go.
He's a different player for England than he is for United.
They're not on your level, Harry.
He's hated.
That's
He's
the
hated
problem.
at United. He's
Hey.
loved at England.
He's looking around going, where are you? Hey, who's with me?
He probably thought, gee, I should pass it here. I'm just taking
He
two
probably
players
thought,
on.
yeah, he thought.
Imagine
mate,
if
it's
Maguire
Mind it.
scores and sues. Like, sue.
Oh
Imagine.
my
Imagine.
god! Can you imagine?
I would be amazed if he
Oh
had
my
the,
God.
The bottle.
the ability or the personality to do.
The ability
No,
to
sorry.
score.
He did that, didn't he?
No, like, I didn't mean that sounded harsh. I'm sorry, Harry. No, I'd be amazed if he did that. He did, yeah, to be fair though, he got in a lot of shit for that off a lot of
Yeah.
United fans. Were like,
I reckon he's going to
you know,
sue.
you scored against Albania and you're giving it all that. And then what annoyed me about that is, right, if you're going to do it, fair enough, I couldn't care less. Do it with your chest out though. Say, do you know what, I've had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I've just scored for my country. Fuck you. But he
Yeah,
went,
I agree.
oh no, it was just a knee slide celebration. Like,
Just admit it,
man,
yeah.
Just fucking admit it. No one's going to care.
I
First
hope
11
I hope
minutes
all
keeping
gets
it, aren't
better
we?
for Harry Maguire.
I
I
do you
really
know-
hope it
Yeah,
does.
I think Harry Maguire is. The more people hate on him, the more I want to stick up for him. Because some of it gets just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
me
It
too.
is ridiculous.
I've never seen like a player get as much hate
And
as
like,
he has.
he was getting booed off England fans at one point. Why are they booing him? What's he done wrong for them?
Just
Do you know what I
classic
mean?
that.
Like, you know, he's literally one of the most successful defenders for England in
He's
the last
brilliant at
40
the Euros.
years.
He was very good at
Yeah.
the Euros.
Yeah,
wasn't
but the thing is, like, sadly, like England fans can be so fickle.
Yeah.
You know, you look at what happened to like Saka and Rashford after
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like
Sancho.
up to that point they'd been amazing, right? The whole squad, every single player. There was nobody you could really point fault at, and it's just
Yeah.
you know, and also like had that shot from Grealish gone in, something else gone their own way. No one never talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like they just become the focus of it. So I
No,
think
you're right.
I think the thing is, you look at even going back to Beckham. You know what happens
The
with him.
dark
and
horse
Chelsea.
that
Yeah,
was
the
all
worst
that
thing
stuff
I've
they
ever
went
seen.
through. But then, like Beckham became
Go on,
a
oh.
national hero. Still not the knight he wants to be, but you know,
He's pulling out all the stops for that, innit?
Yeah, he'll
He's
get
gonna
it though.
shield
won't he?
Queuing for the
soon,
Queen's
sword
funeral
and
and all
He'll
that.
defo get that.
No, you're right. I think as well,
Hold on.
with England
Hold on.
fans, you do get an element of they hate certain teams,
on.
they hate certain clubs, so they'll be quick to turn on. Like they've always hated United, for example. So you're going to get certain England fans that are quite happily
Yeah,
turn on a United
yeah,
player.
United player,
Gary
yeah.
Neville, you say it all the time. Well, yeah, Gary Neville, you say it all the time, and you look at the stuff with Beckham.
Say it
think-
with your chest out if you're going to say
That's
it.
it. Can't
Well,
stand
you're
him.
a lot of getting it now as well. I think you're sort of. you
Yeah,
know,
but I think the thing is, it's just one of those things, and it's a little bit like sticking your head above the parapet, right? Like
Get across
it,
it.
it can go well, and if it goes well, brilliant. But if it goes badly, you're going to get a load of shit off a certain section.
Yeah.
And I think that is it's not nice, it's not tasteful. You don't like to see it, but the people that go through that, it can be an incredible crucible for them, like in terms of how they turn around and what happens to their career
Football.
afterwards.
No, you're right. I mean, Beckham's a great
Well,
example.
he had the
you know.
best season of his
Oh,
life.
go on then.
didn't he? Yeah.
And then scores, you know.
Go on then. Yes.
Go on, lad.
Oh, come on, use your head, man.
I don't know. It seems
like-
like
I saw
Richarlison, didn't it? But I'm better than him. Couldn't even get in our
some
team.
goal out, wasn't it? Some goal
That was a
out.
good
Oh,
goal.
it's mad, isn't it? Like Richarlison, who's like basically on the bench for Spurs. Or did he start? Did he start for Brazil?
He's
Richarlison?
number 9 as well.
Yeah, and
Ahead
scoring
of
worldy.
Jesus.
Mental.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
thing is,
player,
though,
man.
I
He's a
think
good
it's
player, yeah.
beneficial in a sense because he's
Great
also.
ball.
I'm
got
not
a
saying
temper
it's not.
as
It's
well.
just
No,
the, you
you
know,
just ain't got to
get
run the
something.
games at
the
Spurs.
level
has he?
you're playing
Yeah.
for probably the best team in the world.
Get
Brazil,
something,
and
lads.
smashing it for him. When
I
you
think
struggle to get
should
in
we
the
come
Spurs
up
team.
against Brazil though? I think he could be a weak link as well because he's got a bit of a discipline problem. You know, like he's
Yeah,
I don't think,
Richarlison.
Feisty,
yeah. But it's happened
Yeah.
a couple of times at Everton, even at Watford as well for him. So, but yeah, and then
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a
I
bit of a
think
weird
he's a
one with
good
Richarlison
player.
because sometimes you look at him and I think Joe made the point, Joe Smith on the podcast, and it's a good one that a lot of the time when I watched Everton last season, he'd be on his own. It'd be him on his own doing everything up front.
He's an handful,
Do
isn't
you
he?
know what I mean? Having
But
like
that's
no
Everton,
support,
innit?
no, you know what I mean. But he'd be running himself in the ground and still managed to get 12 goals, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And it's like there's no way he's a bad player or anything.
No,
I
not
just
at
wonder
all.
if is he at the top level.
I wonder if it's as well like with the different players in Brazil. There's like a class thing that goes on. So like with the way Neymar sort of goes down so quickly, it's because he learnt to play the game through academies and he always had the referee. Whereas then you got players like Jesus, who basically grew up in the
From, like,
favelas.
the favelas.
Yeah, and basically,
Yeah,
you know,
getting
you
kicked
just
lumps out.
there was people just kicking lumps at it, and it makes you a tougher player. Yeah, so I think
Anthony's the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mad.
He
that. I
came
didn't
out,
think
didn't he,
that.
recently and said about
It's
how
good
like,
that
the amount of
interview,
stuff
wasn't
he used to get when he was younger. So he's not going to get like he's not going to get like pissed off when people have a go at him for spinning round 3 times or something. and
It was a
passing
good
it off the
interview, that,
pitch.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but who was it
Fair
for?
play. I don't know, but
I'm
I've
not
seen
sure.
the
Was it one of the
quotes.
Players Tribune ones, or
I don't know.
Just the
I,
quotes.
to be
Oh, here
honest,
we
I
go.
only saw
Here
it
we
on
go.
Twitter, just the quotes.
Just said about his taking his family out of there, and that was his main goal
Yeah.
and stuff.
I saw Richarlison when he got announced for the squad and his family were in that room, about 30 of them. That was mint.
I swear every Brazil player recording themselves like getting into the squad.
Oh.
Just,
Imagine
like,
you
every
one of
single
those
one
that
of them.
didn't make the cut. You sat there. everyone
Yeah, yeah.
family
I was
like
gonna
that.
make one, like
Like,
a parody of like
right, here we go.
one in the England squad.
And you're like,
You'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
Sorry.
Oh well, what's going on?
There'd
It's-
always be
it's
somebody
like,
that just jumps up with the go. Oh, I didn't get the memo.
go away.
I was watching a thing on, you know, the 2002,
Careful.
Ooh.
Well,
the 2002 Brazil squad.
yeah.
When obviously they won the World Cup, it's like a documentary. I think it's on, I can't remember if it's on Netflix or Sky or whatever. I was watching it last night. And when Scolari announced his squad and Romario wasn't in it, and all the Brazilians were out in the streets going berserk.
Going mad,
You had to like get secure,
Yeah.
extra
He was.
security for him.
It was either
Bebeto, no, it's
Bebeto was the
but for
big one,
the
yeah.
90, obviously 94 they won it,
Yeah.
and 98 I think Romario was injured. In 2002 they thought he was going to come back into the squad, but Scolari was having none of it with him. Didn't pick him, and then there was almost riots.
Luis Felipe Scolari.
Yeah.
That squad was a joke, though, wasn't it?
Mate, it's unreal, honestly.
So good.
Do you know what I mean?
Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Lucio.
Honestly,
Cafu.
do you know what I mean?
Cafu
Cafu.
played?
Yeah, Cafu's a
aye, 'cause he
captain.
lifted the World Cup, didn't he?
Before he started chilling with Stephen Howson. See that?
He
one?
definitely has to
See,
defeat it. He's going to
posted a
come back
picture
and be
last
like,
night of
Some
him and
job,
Cafu.
sign for Paddock.
Steve's got some job
He was
now,
with,
hasn't he?
with Lofar Mateus, arguing with Lofar Mateus the other day.
I love Mateus.
Yeah, I do.
So,
Then he's with Cafu, and he's hanging around with. Now he's at Everest out.
But I tell you what, he's got some balls. I would never argue with Lothar Matthäus.
Well, he said it was like a friendly, wasn't? He said though he went.
I wouldn't
to-
even take the risk.
No, I
What did he
wouldn't.
say to it? Did he just mention 99?
He said they was chatting, and then he was talking
He
about is it
would've loved that,
Schlotterberg?
wouldn't he?
Not Slot. What's the kid called? Schlotterberg. Who's the kid called who plays for? Oh God, Who's-
Slotterbeck?
Slotterbeck. Sorry, not Schlotterberg. Thank you. He was talking about him.
Yeah.
Because Steve's got a thing for him, and he thinks he's the fucking greatest defender ever. And then Steve said, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring up 99." And he asked
Steve
him
would
about
have
99,
loved
so
that.
No, Mateus got subbed in 99 final
Yeah.
with Bayern Munich winning.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that
Never won the
famous
Champions
image of him,
League,
wasn't it?
and then was on the bench
Yeah, on
when
the bench.
we
On
scored
on the
two
bench,
goals.
there was that.
Yeah,
he got
So but he
clipped
said he
up,
was
didn't
dead friendly and dead sound.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean-
but he said Cafu didn't speak any English, so he couldn't really chat to him.
Did he win the
Doesn't
Champions
Steve
League
speak
after that? No,
Portuguese?
I don't think he
he never won
Steve
it.
don't speak Portuguese, no?
Yeah.
He's a bit rusty.
He'll follow
he probably
Portuguese.
hasn't done it for a while.
Do you speak
I do.
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Because when I was at
Do you actually speak Portuguese?
Yeah.
when I was at the
Dois.
I learned from a girlfriend.
Did
So, but like some of the basics I can't do. But if like I can order a taxi and stuff like that.
Can you?
Like, yeah. And yeah, but my
Espetacular, Neymar! Brasil!
yeah. I mean, actually, that's the first lesson. Really, is just to
There
go
you
go. Oh, no, that's it. But
Yeah,
apparently,
Jay, we're just
I was going to
Mancunians,
say, how's your
mate.
Portuguese? RH.
I ain't got none.
you know
Right.
the
That's
the
like
whole
mine.
Brazilian.
That's the same as mine. Yes.
So you know the Brazilian commentary. You know the like when the
mine, mate.
commentators go mental
Bruno.
whenever they score a goal.
Yeah,
They're like,
Bruno.
go. The reason why they do that, and you can relate to this as a commentator now, right? It's because the stadiums were so huge. They'd have somebody with them who'd run down to the pitch to try and find out who scored, and then come running back up
Right.
and tell them who scored. And so they're just literally
Ah.
filling time,
Yeah.
waiting for them
Get
to
you.
get to find out who it was that scored.
That's
and that
brilliant.
Try that on
became
a Saturday
tradition
when you're
now,
not
right?
too sure.
Yeah. Because I've got no one to send to find out who it was.
When we was at, I don't know.
Stay.
I think
Score, bud.
get up out of my camping chair, fold it up, walk over.
Good, Kane.
When we was at the pre-season, we got into the mix zone, after one of the games, and they brought Fred out. So I said to the guy, can I have a chat with him? Because with Andy Mitten was stood next to me.
Yeah.
So can I have a chat with Fred? He said, you can try.
Yeah,
but he don't speak any English. Because
nothing.
Andy Mitten speaks Portuguese, so he did his interview in Portuguese.
Does he?
Yeah.
And then
That's class.
I just said to Fred, like, well played, and shook his hand and that. But
He's limited. He is limited in his English, but
he seems
he
to
just
me
goes
like
cacao.
Fred, like one
Someone
of them,
kicks it
like,
over the bar. And that.
Really?
Yeah, he's a cannon, mate.
You understand it?
He's a good guy though. He's one of the guys where, like, one of the lads that I work with, where, you know, like if a kid really likes him or whatever, he'll be like doing videos.
Oh.
He's happy to do videos.
He
and,
seems
like,
like
he's just
a good
guy.
character to have around
he's
as
a good
well.
guy,
Like,
yeah,
everyone
he loves
seems
the
to get on
crap.
with
He's
him.
always because it's the thing with Fred. I actually think in recent weeks he's been so poor.
Yeah.
But he works so hard. You just cannot hate him.
Yeah.
You can't. Fred just grafts. And
I just
grafts
think
and
if he
grafts and
sticks, he
grafts.
sticks to the basics on what he's very good at, like rats around, gets it, gives it, mate, he'll be so
He
effective.
was the only one under Ragnick who sort of emerged with any
he tries
credit.
mad
I know,
stuff.
but the Rangnick period was just.
I know it was, but he
Yeah, but-
was one of the ones who
yeah,
went,
Sport directive Ralph Rangnick.
Yeah, but every manager that's come in has played him
yeah.
and liked
Yeah,
him.
no, that is a great.
So
point.
that's a testament
That is
to,
a great point.
you know, there's a
It
few players like
could
that.
just
as
be
well.
like, you know, like he brings the new manager cakes and donuts. And
Could-
coffee
yeah,
every
possibly,
morning.
yeah.
I've got you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Got to touch that
Welcome
in
to the
five
club,
hours, man.
Gaffer. Best gaffer we've ever had.
I had your car valeted while you were parked
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I've always been dying to work with you. Keep
Yeah.
telling that to everyone.
Yeah,
Now you're here.
Ronaldo's a bad egg. You need to get rid of him.
But do you know what I liked about Fred as well? He was the only one who used to ever give it to Pogba. You know,
Yeah.
Pogba would try and keep
Yeah,
hold of him
yeah.
and lose the ball. No one would say anything to
Yeah,
him
Fred
except
would,
Fred would go mad.
Yeah.
He's like, he done,
Did he?
Yeah, he was the only one who ever shouted at him. Like, if you ever watched a
Really?
game with Pogba and Fred in midfield, if Pogba did something like shot and it went
Standards
wide or
and
lost
that.
the ball, Fred would go mad.
Yeah.
And no one ever did that with Pogba.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
But then at the same
Fair
time,
play.
and this come back to England, what we were talking about before, you don't see any of that with this
No.
squad, which I think you would say sometimes you go, oh, there's no passion there, they're not caring. But we're not being in that position. I guess it comes down to, like, we've got to see us going a goal down to someone and seeing how they react.
It's
to it.
weird, isn't it, as well, like you say,
Ruthlessness,
because
isn't it?
those two games we lost, one against Croatia and like you mentioned there, about one against Italy, we're there for the taking. It
Yeah.
wasn't like we got battered or outplayed. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like
Step on the
you
gas
know,
and go for
penalties
the game, you know what I mean?
and the Croatia game. We just ran out of
Extra
steam.
time, wasn't it?
You know,
Extra time.
when we did the game the other day, we were talking about actually what it takes to win one of these tournaments, and it's not battering everyone 6-2. It's like you look back, it's lots of 1-0s, 2-1s, those things that
Yeah,
get
yeah.
you through.
It's like that with the Premier League, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well, like you have to grind your results
right.
out. Some of football's mad though.
It's just a bit like it's a bit duller. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the time, and I think that translates into the bigger games as well. I mean, obviously you get crackers, but the intensity just seems
Yeah.
to be a bit different. I don't know why.
Like
Why do you think that is with international? Excuse me,
I'm not
international
too
football.
sure, but obviously we're 22 minutes gone and we've just been playing keep ball, haven't we, for 22 minutes? It's just one of them, like
Just Harry Maguire's little
little
run.
triangles and stuff. I just think
Oh.
that need to try and generate chances, a little bit more chances, and great block, obviously on the Kane one, but just a bit more. Take
If
a
we
bit more risk
just
around the
just to
Yeah.
be clear here as well. Also, don't forget we've got an event in Dublin on the 30th of December. Myself, Stephen Howson, excuse me, Adam McCullough, Joe Smith, and Brian McClare, bona fide United legend Brian McClare, are going to be in Dublin the 30th. There's a link in the chat and in the description. Click on there, come down. First live event at Stretford Paddock. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good night, be a good laugh. So hopefully, if you can get over to Dublin or you live in Dublin, we'll see you there. If England win this or England win the group, we would then face the runners-up of Group A, which is Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, or
It's not going to
Holland.
be Qatar, though, is it?
No,
Unfortunately.
sorry, I was just reading that. You're right. Ecuador, Senegal, or the Netherlands. So that's who we get if we win this group.
Come on, Sterling. Ooh.
I think out of those three,
Yeah.
who do you want to avoid
Well,
the
it's
most? At
it's
that?
Say
going
them
to
teams
be
again, Jay.
Senegal and
Jay.
Yeah,
Netherlands,
that's-
isn't
yeah.
it?
Say them teams again, bud.
I mean,
Ecuador,
Senegal you'd
Ecuador,
rather play,
Senegal,
wouldn't
or
you,
the
first?
Netherlands.
You think?
Yeah.
Or would you rather play the Netherlands? I don't know.
It says it if we
It's definitely a question.
if we progress but fail to win the group, then we play the winners of that group. So we
Yeah.
play so it's always so
So if you win the group, you should be playing Senegal. Should be, but I don't know. You never know.
I think it's one of those though, isn't it? It's you know, you don't know once you get into the knockout stage of the
It's
World
not
Cup.
anything. We'll look at Japan and Germany. Japan were brilliant, weren't they, the other day?
Yeah.
Run all day. Quality was good.
And as well, left their dressing room really neat and tidy. Did you see those tweets?
Yeah, and the
I
stands.
see them, yeah.
It's amazing.
Did you see them like going
Yeah,
around
the
with bin
fans were
bags?
doing it,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Aye.
Fair
Brilliant. Brilliant.
play. Fair play.
I was thinking I might get Japan to come and play my garden like every week just so I get my
Just
house
to clean
tidy.
it.
I do love that.
Yeah.
That's like part of their culture.
standards,
just like
ain't it?
cleaning
Love that.
everything and like cleaning other people's
It's like
stuff.
it's like the opposite of our culture, really, isn't it? You know, we just,
Yeah.
go to town and
like
just
doing
smash
quick-
everything up
quick
and then
wipe.
leave.
£10.
The English are here.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's what we've done for centuries.
That's what I mean. That's our heritage.
Just leave the
Yeah,
bin bag.
it's part of who we are.
Then you like bring the whole bin bag out and empty it out. Juice all over the gaff.
Day before the tournament saying there's no bare English fans were fuming, weren't they?
I know.
It's bad. But I bet there's been less rubbish and
But
less
do you know what,
trouble, though,
right?
aren't there?
It's
Yeah.
it's
Is there many?
it's not that deep, right? When I was in South Africa,
Scenario, yeah.
there was only Budweiser, 'cause it's sponsored by Budweiser.
Oh,
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 chance.
should have scored.
chance.
that teaches to have a Pogba
That's your mate,
haircut.
that, innit? The one you was talking about.
Chance.
My mate.
Well, the one you.
Yeah, I've
one
never
you-
met him, but yeah, he's me mate.
You had a drink with him?
Have you?
Producer Ethan says that he's making up lies here now.
Where did you have a drink
when
with
did
him?
you have a drink with Weston McKenna?
In a club in Cincinnati.
In a club in Cincinnati.
This sounds like a blues song.
What did you drink?
I was in a club in Cincinnati with Weston McKenna.
shot
What?
of apple sours.
Gave me a drug of his vodka orange.
How old were you
Yeah.
at the time?
No comment.
That's a bit,
No
bit weird,
comment.
this, isn't it? Hey? Seriously, how old were you?
I was 20.
You were 20.
And
So you were underage in America. So Weston McKenna was giving you drinks
This
in a
is the
club
plot for a
when you were
brand new
underage.
podcast.
Yeah.
Did you know he was going to be there?
well, Venezuela played USA and just round the corner. So
Wait, who played USA?
Venezuela. Sorry, no one can hear Ethan. Venezuela played
Oh, I thought
USA.
you said Venice.
So you went over to watch that, did you?
no, I was just in the bar.
Oh, you were just in Cincinnati in a bar. What the fuck were you
Illegally.
doing in the Cincinnati bar?
I worked in Cincinnati for 3 months.
You worked in Cincinnati for 3
yeah.
months. When?
Producer.
2019.
2019. Right. Okay. All right. Good
He's
stuff.
good at his job, you know. He gets these opportunities.
Solomon Rondon
Rondon.
Rondon.
and
Um,
someone Martinez.
Someone Martinez.
Lautaro,
Oh,
Lisandro.
It wasn't fucking Lissandro, was
Emiliano.
it? Hey, you know about that if it was. Right. Okay. So you're hanging
Roberto
around in
Martinez.
this bar in Cincinnati getting drinks bought for you by Weston McKenna.
He just given me his jug because he was going to leave.
Oh, he just gave you his jug because he was going to leave.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Nice. Well, good that.
Decent,
Good
that.
lad. Well
That's
done.
nice.
Got
of
to
him,
do
isn't
better
it?
there, though. And he looks.
Aye.
It's
I mean,
big
maybe if he'd
chance,
had a
that, you know.
few
It's a
less
big,
Yeah,
it's a
I
big
know.
chance.
vodka
that.
oranges.
Yeah, maybe they
Play
scored
that.
that. He
You're
wasn't
thinking
in
there, right,
bars
not
in
keeping
Cincinnati when he
down.
should have been training.
Got to get his head right over
Get your
it,
head
innit?
over it.
Taylor Green in the
right
super
over
chat
it.
says Tokyo is the cleanest place I've ever been. I'd love to go to Tokyo. Have you been to Tokyo?
I've not been to Tokyo actually. I've travelled a lot.
You're
It's
a
one place,
well-travelled man, yeah. I wouldn't mind going to Tokyo. What about you, Alex? You've been everywhere. Have you been to Tokyo?
No, Tokyo, mate. That's my next probably trip.
Yeah,
Coach
I
out
had-
there,
I
you know
had-
what I mean?
Coach out
Probably.
there, mate.
I had
Mr.
the chance
Worldwide.
You're going to ask
Yeah,
me if
I've
I've been
that.
to Tokyo?
Yeah, you're
You
next on my
defo
list.
have. You have.
No, I've
Have you not?
Tell you what,
never been.
so little Englanders on here, aren't we? None of us have been to Tokyo. Apologies there to anyone watching.
To the fans. in
I'd like to go
that
to Tokyo,
region.
to be fair. Isn't it like meant to be the metropolitan area of Tokyo is meant to be like 20 million population?
Really?
Yeah.
I think like it's like the busiest city in the world.
Thought it was a geography lesson then when you were
Decent.
saying
I
that.
like
It's
little
very
facts
good, that
like
little facts
I like
there.
little
You get
facts
to
like
what
that.
you know,
Statman
find
Drew.
out about the
Yeah.
football and it's
Statman
education.
Drew.
Statman Dre.
Statman
Well,
Dre.
it is the
Actually,
World Cup,
like-
so let's learn about
Yeah,
the World
exactly.
Cup.
Let's,
Statman.
any more facts from about Tokyo you've got for us? Get involved in the chat.
They've got like good metro system, I think. They've
Yeah.
got those like little kind of what are they called? Like little hotel rooms where it's just like a
Pods.
bed. Pods.
Yeah.
That comes out, yeah. You can just sleep there like in a tiny pod.
Yeah.
Was Rush Hour set there? Was it?
No, I think Rush Hour was set in America. Wasn't
Rush
it?
Hour.
It's just Jackie
No,
Chan's
one
in
of
it,
them
but it
was
in
one of-
America. One of them
Yeah,
they go
one
over
of
to
them was
Tokyo.
a-
There was a Fast and the Furious that was set there, Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo,
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I think that's when it was losing its way. Um,
Comfortable, safe.
That's a
Yeah.
separate stream we do. We'll
Yeah.
review all
the fa-
93.
Yeah,
Fast and
there is
Furious
about
movies.
loads of them, isn't there? What are they on now about?
I look-
And there's a spin-off.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they ran out of numbers, so they just went. The brand new Fast and Furious movie is called Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
we
Like,
can't count that high anymore.
it's like,
no
when, it's
space.
like when they did it with Halloween, didn't they? And they stopped calling them Halloween numbers and started calling them Halloween Kills,
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
Returns, Halloween Ends, and all
Well, didn't they do that with Scream as well? Like the fifth
Nice.
Scream
Nice.
movie
Yeah.
was called
That's
Scream
right,
again.
there you go,
Yeah.
rolling
Yeah.
off the tongue again. Go on then.
Oh,
that.
then
Good
sure.
ball.
That was a
It's a great
threading the
I
needle.
love
Mal's
it when
gotta do
I love
better
those
there.
passes. Just defend straight to attackers through like a needle.
breaking lines.
that.
It's all about breaking lines.
He's
isn't
got to do better there, Mount, and with his first touch.
What do you make of Mason Mount? Because he
I knew
seems to be
he was
quite
gonna
an unpopular figure amongst non-Chelsea fans?
I think he's got loads of energy. And again, when you talk about all the England players, when they've done like Q&As and stuff, they say he's very technical, like one of the most technical in the squad. But for me, I'll Maddison in that role, mate.
Really?
Yeah, Maddison's and his stats don't lie either. Like he's been a really good player.
Well, if it's a stats thing for a few seasons, like Mason Mount was guaranteed a decent player. Like even if you just used him for fantasy football, you got the return that way. But yeah, again, it's like apart from the odd sort of outside the box goal, I couldn't really tell somebody what he does.
Mount. I just think with Mount, I think he's a very good player, but I just don't think he's quite as good as your Bruno Fernandes's, your De Bruyne's and stuff. And because he's not quite at that level, you look at him and you just think.
But then in this team, there is no Bruno Fernandes.
Oh no, but then I know you've got players like you said, Maddison can play there, Foden can play there.
Because I think
he's just slightly lower than them.
Mason Mount's stats this season, if we just going off sort of Chelsea games, I think he's got 21 games for Chelsea this season, 3 goals and 6 assists. So it's not terrible. James Maddison has got 14 games. He's had a bit of an injury. Also, he's not an injury. He's not played in Europe. Sorry, 14 games, 7 goals and 4 assists. So those numbers are very impressive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Whereas Mason Mount aren't as impressive, and you could argue Mason Mount's in a much better team.
But again, then Southgate trusts Mount. Plays Mount in other tournaments, and he's gone for that, which is fair enough. But I think I'd like to see a little bit
Champions
more
League winner as well, and Mason Mount.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Listen,
He's
can't
done it
take
on a big
nothing away
stage.
from him. He's a good player.
I mean, I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you.
Really?
Of Mason Mount, I think he's all right.
Yeah.
But I feel personally, I know we've gone through numbers and that, there's paper thin margins between him and Maddison. I get you like Maddison. I don't feel like it's what the f are you doing?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit like it could go either way.
I think because Maddison's like very much in form at the minute, people are thinking he's better than he is as well. Do you know what I mean?
Because he had a bit of a spell, was it last season or the season before, where he went like, was it about 10 months with 1 goal or something? Maddison,
but then you've got
Maddison.
I know.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact. So
again,
I
know I'm like Maddison, like love child here over here or whatever, but he's playing at Leicester. You know what I mean? Like imagine his numbers if he was playing at a top side.
The thing is that it's a weird Chelsea team at the minute. Like it's a very kind of all over the place Chelsea team. Just got new owners, just got a new manager.
Yeah.
There's like players in there from so many different phases.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to play in those teams. Like we found out as United fans. Like when you've got when Ollie took over, you had players from
Pulisic smashing the bar. What an effort, by the way.
Pulisic.
I like him as a
player.
Yeah, I do.
He's another one.
Mount's better than him.
He's another one who just remember when we were linked with him in the summer. I thought that'd be such a United move to get the one player we don't need from Chelsea.
He's bold.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's a great effort.
To be fair, that is a.
Pickford was done there.
He's definitely like a new generation of American player because it's like if somebody told you he was Spanish or something like that, you'd accept it. Yeah, there's something about the way he plays, and I think that's a sign of how far USA have come.
Done very well at Dortmund when he was there as well. European, more of a European.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Dortmund?
No.
I've been so good.
Hamburg.
You've been coaching over there, weren't you?
Hamburg, yeah.
Was that Pauli or?
Yes, St. Pauli and Hamburg, SV, yeah.
Did you get to go to a game?
No, just training facilities. I did my own stuff, though. It was for me, but was at their both of them, yeah.
I sent Pauli Bundesliga 2.
No, they're in the top league now.
I think they're back in the.
Did he go down?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, but I love that club. You know they.
It's a more family club.
Yeah, and they got sponsored by Under Armour, right? So they produced a new kit, and they actually the club. The club decided to boycott the kit because Under Armour, like 16% of their business is in hunting, and they decided that wasn't ethical.
Really?
So they had this whole thing, but it's amazing. Like,
in terms of the contract,
so they worked something out, but basically they were like, so the fans stopped buying the shirts, which is the exact reason why. A sponsor comes in to do that kind of thing. So yeah,
there you go. Second division, Bundesliga. Nick Arnand in the chat. Sorry, we'll just wait for this. Is this
off the training ground.
Well worked.
Go on then.
Go on, Harry.
Press.
Harry Maguire's used a lot in England set pieces to like get the ball.
Target.
Nick Anand, who's been a member of the academy for 28 months, says, we know Nick does our website, says, not the biggest fan of Mount, never seems that consistent. Up the RH, up the Paddock.
Good man.
Yes,
Nick.
like-
Keep up the good work, bro.
Obviously, Mount's now going to get a hat-trick, isn't he?
Yeah,
There's
after we've just
I
laid
think
it in.
Mount's more. You can use him in various different positions as well.
Yeah.
I think with Maddison, he's more of a 10. You can't play him out wide because he's not going to beat someone 1v1 and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Mount's got energy.
Do you think there's like a personality thing there as well, or the fact that Mount will happily do something that allows something
Someone
else
else,
to,
yeah,
to
'cause his
happen?
work
And
ethic, yeah.
and that's the kind of thing he's like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm happy about it.
You need players like that, especially when you've got like a lot of good midfielders and attackers in a squad. You can't always fit them all in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have, okay, maybe
Yeah.
Foden's missing out or Maddison's missing out because I'm playing Mount because I know that Mount's going to do this job.
Yeah.
And you've got to think sometimes about the bigger picture
Roles and
as opposed to
responsibilities.
squeezing everyone in. What's the like?
Plus, as well, I
You know
think
what I
I
mean?
think bringing on Foden or Grealish is going to, or Madison, it'll have a bigger
Brilliant,
impact than bringing Mount.
No,
on.
I hear you on that
Honestly,
front. Definitely.
Grealish and
100%.
Rashford
Yeah.
as impact subs.
You're feeling that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Feeling like if
Yeah,
you're a
no, you're
defender,
right.
or
Great
you're
point.
thinking, Jesus Christ,
They're just
you know,
gonna run at you.
Someone like Rashford or Foden comes on,
Yeah,
last
great
20
point,
minutes,
that.
you're like, this is hard work.
I think as well with Madison, there's all that gossip about him and all the focus. I think that,
Oh.
and the fact he's not playing, like, takes a lot of pressure away because.
What's going on there?
Oh, hang on. The hand went up there. Was that?
Was that a bit of a?
Go on, Mount.
Oh,
Hey,
that's-
Oh, Maddison would have
no.
done better there.
Hey, Madison.
Madison
Madison scores that
Top
exactly.
look
Hey,
at
up
this
the way here
Ferguson
now.
style
Good
delivery.
lad, Stones.
Like Stones there, well done, lad.
Fair play.
You on your lads there?
Hey,
Hey, there we go.
Stones
Telling
it.
you.
I like him. Stones.
there.
Yeah, footballing.
decent.
Footballing. And can we be like this now?
Yeah,
Now
we're
not
all.
talking, you know what I mean?
This is an amnesty.
Yeah, this is like
As
a-
Elon
like
Musk would
this is
say.
the limbo
Like a
in
big
between.
Yeah.
Phil Foden
I feel
too.
like-
Yeah, all right. Let's
Yeah.
let's focus on how good Marcus Rashford is for a bit.
Sorry, I feel like it's
Do
our
you know what I liked about John
Colin
Stones?
Sancho to get a squad.
Hey, do you know what I liked about John Stones? Remember when England beat Colombia on penalties? And because the Colombia had been shithousing it all through the game, and his first reaction was to run over to the Colombian players and give them shit.
Everyone's human.
Yeah, I love a bit. Not straight to celebrate. First things first. I'll have a bit of that. Yeah, in the face and all that.
See, but that was some of the best shithouses we've ever seen that game.
Yeah. Oh,
my
massively.
God. Radamel Falcao.
Oh,
I hated
what?
that game. Yeah, they were.
I was fuming when it went to
nearly
penalties,
paid
man.
off, didn't
Because
they?
was it 1-0 up for ages?
Yeah, and then they
got
got
the last minute
really
equaliser.
late goal, yeah.
I know, man, didn't even have Rodriguez,
Such
did
a
they?
tense game, that
Yeah.
as well.
And you think England penalties were fucked.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But
Pickford pulled it out of the bag.
Pickford,
there.
yeah.
I remember
It's only
watching that
it's
in
only
Amsterdam.
it's only Henderson who missed, wasn't there?
Was it?
Yeah.
But isn't it-
Rashford came on and scored.
Isn't it
Trippier
amazing
scored,
that
yeah.
even though we lost the Euros on penalties, we feel a lot better about penalties now because of that game, because against Colombia and Yeah.
Harry Maguire on the penalty spot. Unbelievable.
Mate, it was his
That
best
penalty
pen,
smashed
wasn't
in
it?
at the
Yeah.
camera.
Top bin.
And he did the same against
Drilled
Borough
it as
in
well.
The, we lost to Middlesbrough last
Yeah.
season. He absolutely
he
dispatched
did,
his
yeah.
penalty.
That's what I mean, though.
Laces
He
as
made
well.
team of the tournament,
Yeah.
banged his penalty in top bins, and yet 2 months later everyone was booing him.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying he's like the worst player that ever played for Man United.
What are you on
All
about?
fickle football
I know.
fans, aren't they?
All right, come on.
Changes in an
All right,
instant,
man,
doesn't
it's
it?
madness.
It is very much like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like with football as well. Is you have to have an opinion. You have to have an extreme opinion on things.
These are making a game of this, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
giving it
Yeah,
a
I
good
thought
goal
it'd be a
now.
bit easier than this. I'm not
Well,
gonna lie.
you do know statistically, like England have never beaten the USA at a tournament.
Really?
Yeah. So in fact, the record they've played them 3 times. This is the 3rd time. So the first time was in 1950.
That was the
USA won.
big upset, wasn't it?
Second time
Oh,
was
Stones.
South Africa,
Played the
and we thought
50.
easy game.
1-1.
We drew, yeah, and then we went through the group second. Then after as a result of that, didn't we?
Yeah, these are giving it a good goal here. These. What was everyone's sweepstake thing? What was it? What did you say for added time?
I said 8 minutes.
I said 9. I think I've lost
6,
already.
I think
I
I'm
said
going to win.
7, didn't I?
Been no goals.
Can't wait for that cookie.
Here we
What
come.
cookies are
Pussy.
they?
I don't know. I didn't even
Oatmeal
say.
and
I just my
You
vision.
know, I think there's
my
milk
vision
chocolate
there.
and there's white chocolate as well. So you're spoiled for choice there if you like
Wow.
chocolate.
Just
Otherwise,
seen it, corner of my eye.
Discriminating
Vision,
against
you
the
know
vegans.
I'm
there.
sorry. Oh no, I think one of them.
Oh,
One of them
sorry,
might be
yeah,
vegan
yeah.
friendly. I don't know. Actually.
Oh right, well there we go. Suddenly I'm more interested.
Are you vegan?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it? 38 minutes into the game and I haven't told you yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 38 minutes I've been vegan.
He's stuck to it as well. He's done really well. The whole 38 minutes, he's not
Yeah,
had
fair
any dairy.
No
I have been
animal
emailing and
products.
texting people, though, just to get
Yeah.
through it. I'm vegan.
That's poor Trippier.
Why'd you do it out of interest?
What? Not
Like,
tell
why are
people?
you vegan? No.
Why do I tell people? Because they have to know.
I must tell him.
Eve, have you got that picture I sent you?
Yeah.
Give us a shout when it's ready to go.
Oh yeah, what's going on here?
No, it's
now?
not. It's not you.
It's not
Don't worry. I'm not
something to do with
stitching you up.
Stick.
Is it a picture of a nice
Jesus
juicy
Christ.
burger?
No, I'm not. I'm not that
What's
mean.
going on here?
He's been quite Anisaka. He was really good against Iran.
I think all the attackers have been
To be
quite,
fair, yeah, I'll give you that.
Give it. Go on, Mount.
Yeah.
Apart from Mount. Mount's been stuck in.
Great ball that.
Out wide
at
again.
that.
though.
Saka's you, man.
Should have gone out
One
wide.
more.
There
That's the
you
one.
go. Ah,
Not a
sloppy
good
that.
ball that. It's a terrible ball.
It's very bad. That.
He split his own
Abysmal.
players.
He's quite quick, and who's that lad over there? The right winger for them. He's quick, him.
Is that weird?
But I know, honestly, at this rate, we're going to get less than 2 minutes of injury.
I know. I
Pretty-
think I've
pretty
absolutely
pixelated.
stacked it with his 9 minutes. There's no
Yeah.
chance. Thing is, though, that is accurate. Like for most games, you do have like they reckon you only watch about half an hour each half, don't you?
Reckon it,
Because
yeah.
it's out of play that much, and the
Yeah.
referee doesn't stop it every time it's not in play.
Wow, that's classic. It's him again. I don't know. I need to find out who he is.
He's going to pull it
They're
back.
in here.
Oh,
They're in here.
wow.
They're in here.
Yes, Maguire.
deflection.
Brilliant.
What
Has
a
that-
block that was.
He's Andy in both boxes.
Anyone
isn't
in the
he, Harry?
comments tell me who that right winger is?
Who's the
please?
right winger
You'd have
for
Please. The
USA?
one who just done the back heel and
Yeah,
she shimmied. Oh,
that's drops the
Done
shoulder
well,
there. Brilliant.
You're not getting past Maguire, all right? Come on, hey, none
Is
of
it
that.
not weird?
I don't
No.
know, but he looks good. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, after this corner, you can bring it up.
Tense.
It depends actually how this corner goes.
Wait.
Oh,
Harry again, he's
Maguire,
everywhere.
It's unmarked.
He's a
Look at that.
footballing magnet.
Kill
He's
that.
everywhere, this lad.
Hey.
Happy true?
Yeah, go on. Do you remember this when we drew him last time and that was the headline?
Yeah. I actually remember that as a kid, like being a bit of a meme at the time.
USA wins 1-0.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
The greatest tie against the British since Bunker Hill. What happened at Bunker Hill?
Is it some?
A
Is that the
draw?
War of Independence or something? I don't
Yeah.
know.
How can you draw a war?
That's-
It's like same amount of
I'm
people
not.
died
I'm
or
not
something.
sure. Sorry, I'll find out. Yeah, we'll have a look.
Sick.
Bunker
Looks
Hill.
lively, him. today.
America's such a crazy place. I remember going
These
to
having a good
Philadelphia, and there was one of the things. I was out for a conference. I was there a day early. Went to a brewery, a couple of other places. So did the Rocky Steps.
Oh,
Oh!
mate,
wow.
I'm telling you, these are
And then they
stepping
said,
on it.
said,
Oh,
"Oh,
Rocky
do you want to
Steps,
see? Do you want to see America's oldest street?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I was like, I'm up for that." I was like, "Oh my God, we've got older streets in Manchester. It looks like where my granny lives." Because it literally, it was like
Yeah, I
it
can
was like
imagine.
150 years old or something like this. And I'm like, "Oh God, it's nuts."
I saw this thing on TikTok of like a guy. He was doing like reaction. He was comparing a British person seeing an old building to like an American person, and it was very stereotypical. But the British person was like, "Oh, look at that lovely architecture," and the American was like, "Holy shit, that building's old." It was just like, it was so just it was very stereotypically accurate. Made me laugh.
Hi to all our American watchers.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry, I've looked at the Bunker Hill thing and it seems that like it was a bit of a draw.
Yeah. If you can,
I don't think anyone came out of it
Yeah.
with an outright win.
I think
So-
a few of the American lads, I put their link in before, told the lads, the American lads I worked with when I was over there
Oh yeah.
to check in. So if
Oh, was
they're-
it Serginho Dest who's?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. But I did tell them to check in.
Yeah.
So if they are, say
Well, if
hi
you can
to them
explain
from
us in
me,
the
and I'm here.
comments what Bunker Hill was in like 2 sentences, that'd be really handy.
So many tabs open.
I know. I'm horrible.
That's nothing, that
Oh.
actually. I usually have several like windows open with twice that many tabs,
Yeah, I am.
and then I always forget what I was looking for or where it was.
For those watching, Jay's got about 40 tabs open
Yeah, I'm sorry.
on his Google Chrome, which is fine.
And he's even in this weird
Busy,
sort of
man.
like infinity loop. He's watching the feed now. He's watching the stream. It's like
On all of the tabs.
What happens if we show this to the camera now?
Don't show the tabs.
Internet break.
Yeah. We all
Go on
become
then.
tabs.
Yeah, if you look through there,
Jude.
yeah,
Put
you
it
can
in.
see yourself.
Go
Ball.
on then.
Oh!
Class
The
Bellingham.
delay.
Proper pace on that.
Go on then, shot.
Go on, shot!
Oh!
Saka.
Saka.
You say you went to 2010 World Cup
Yes.
as a fan or?
But it was
working?
basically, I'd finished uni and they gave us the opportunity to the journalism to go over there, stay at this Wits University in Johannesburg and work on like in a newsroom.
Okay.
So it was like, it was a bit of sort of mixture of a holiday and a working holiday sort of thing. So yeah, we weren't covering like football matches as such. We were covering like covering human interest stories. So like the sort of how it affected people in South Africa, all that sort of stuff.
The tournament.
Yeah,
Right.
it was just amazing. It really was. Met so
Yeah,
many
I
good
can
people out there. I had such a top laugh. The South
Brilliant,
Africans were
that.
so friendly.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you invite you out their house all the time for like, I think they call them braais, like this barbecue.
Bri, yeah, Bri. That's a barbecue.
Yeah, and then when
One minute,
one
we're all-
minute,
we're
we're all
all-
What?
Oh,
like that's
Minute,
shocking.
Wow, we're all done.
What?
No cookies.
No
for us.
cookies.
Is
for
the
anybody.
timekeeper's not there at this game? 1 minute added on.
Yeah.
What?
That cookie's now going to be
I thought that was
available
like
for the best comment
stuff of the
through
old.
game.
Yes, that cookie is a bit.
Nah,
of
I said 6, so I was closest. So I
All
wouldn't
right, is it
cook
nearest to the pin?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Hey up, hey up!
Mau! Oh, imagine if he would have scored, it would have been class.
After all the shit you've been giving him.
I know.
Yeah.
So's Mace. I'll be buzzing if he scores. I'll be buzzing if he scores.
I always believed in him.
Yeah.
So if he
Yeah.
had a
There's
session
not much
with you,
difference
he bangs
between
that.
100%.
Literally.
mate.
What? If what?
If he had an hour with him, he bangs
Honestly.
that.
Yeah, you coach that into him, eh?
Honestly.
What-
Tried to
I mean-
reverse, didn't I?
What would you, in an hour, what could you achieve with something like
Mate, I could turn someone into Ronaldo, mate. In a
Really?
No, I'm joking.
I thought,
don't know.
give me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it more psychological stuff, or is it?
Oh no, it's everything. It's very intense as well. Like
Right.
it's good. Like a regular like guy will be like needing like a what they call defib or something like that. Yeah, it's
Did
just-
like, is it proper?
Yeah, it's
Because you did a lot
intense,
with
man.
the United lot, didn't you? For those who don't know, because this
Yeah,
game's
yeah.
nearly done now. You did a lot with the United
Right.
lads during lockdown, didn't you?
Yeah.
So they were doing
Yeah.
extra coaching with you on top of the stuff that the club were
programme,
doing,
mate. Yeah,
just to
that's
keep
cool.
themselves sharp and to.
And is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
off their own back, or does the
No,
club
no,
put you
no,
in it?
no. That's off their own back.
Right.
I've got no. I work with a few United players, both youth team all the way to 21s and to the first team, but that's off their own back. That's not through the club. I'm not associated with the club or anything like that.
That's why he's sat here.
Yeah, that's why I'm not an MUTV.
if he was official coach, he would let
You
him
know
on air
what?
with us lot
So
on,
if
a,
I was-
on a live video.
So if I did stuff for MUTV, I couldn't come on it.
No, we've had current players on the channel.
Yeah,
Jesse Lingard, when he was at the club, came on a few times.
Yeah.
We've obviously when it's corporate stuff, you get access. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I think we had one matter on Fellaini, but that was through the corporate stuff.
Yeah,
we had a really good interview with Jesse where it was like for an hour, him and McCullough in a chippy in Altrincham. Just like proper bit in depth, and it was great because Jesse was opening up about mental health and all sorts. Really good
Really
interview.
good,
Loads of ex-players, and we've had ex-coaches. Rennie Merlinstein's been on.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chocky's been on. Chocky's
doing
doing
the
our
Chocky
event.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
our
yeah.
event mates with Chocky, so we've had him on a few times. So yeah, I think. Sorry,
Henningberg.
Henningberg came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff on Henningberg. I'm surprised. Yeah, so what happened with Henningberg? There was a chant, right? And I thought I've fucking lost plot. When I was like, when Henningberg played for United, there was a chant to the tune of the A-Team, right?
Yeah.
Henningberg,
Oh,
right?
amazing.
Yeah. So we had him on the channel, and I said to him, "Oh, do you remember the chant? Henningberg?" And he went, "No." Right, and then Steve, to make matters worse, completely threw me under the fucking bus. He went, "No, I don't remember that either." So I'm sat here like, fucking hell, nightmare.
Yeah, I made it up in my bedroom.
Yeah, and then I got a few DMs and a couple people who said, "Jay, I remember," but apparently that chant went round for about 3 weeks and then died on its ass. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a regular thing. It was like it was one of those, you know, you get the old chant that pops
You
up now
actually
and again.
say no.
No,
You just
and
like,
the thing with
no,
Henningberg, right?
Awkward one.
He was proper sound, but he wasn't like,
oh.
you know, like have some guests on, like when Chucky comes on, we take the piss, it's a
Yeah,
laugh,
yeah.
and like, you know, loads of people. Henningberg, he was a great guy, dead in
Yeah.
depth, answer any questions, but he was fairly serious. He wasn't
Yeah.
joking about. He was a bit more sort of analytical and stuff. So when I said that, I was like, and he was like, no. And I was just like,
He wanted the
and I was hoping
to
Steve go,
swallow
oh
you
no,
up.
I remember that. And he just went, no, I don't remember that either.
He's killed you. honestly.
Fucking hell, nice one, Steve. Anyway, let's get into the comments. I was like, oh my God, it was horrible. And then like 90% of the comments were like, didn't know what it was on about either. Like, there's only like one or two who said, yeah, I remember that. It was like everyone like Jay talking shite. Suvik Bhattacharya, I hope I've said that one right, said Woodgate playing 4-2-3, Woodgate, 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 or whatever. It doesn't make a difference in style of play. Same old, basically. Woodgate, I've seen a few people calling him Woodgate. I think, is that a thing now?
Northgate.
Calling Gareth Southgate.
But the thing is that isn't that when something really bad's happened, you just add the word gate to it to make
Like
it
Watergate, yeah. Yeah, like Woodgate, yeah. It sounds like something's gone down.
Paddock
there,
Gate is what's happening now.
Yeah, we've had a few of them, don't you worry about that.
Edinburgh Gate.
Edinburgh Gate, yeah. Fucking hell. I was completely in the
Tonight's show will be known as Mason Mountgate.
Mason Mountgate,
Mountgate,
exactly.
yeah.
He's just get involved in the chat in the comments and let us know what you thought of that first half. Hit the like button as well. And don't forget, as you can see on your screens there, we've got an event coming up on the 30th of December in Dublin with Brian McClare.
The class that.
What you got planned?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? I'll start with you, Dre. First half, anyone impress you?
It was more of America, really. Pulisic looked dangerous. They looked dangerous on the counter-attack. And I don't know, I just think people, obviously, after seeing Wales draw to them, and then Wales do so bad today, probably thought it'd be quite an easy game against the US today. But they've been in it. They've been better than England. Well, it's been pretty even, but the fact that it's been even is a bit of a win for the US.
Milad Goddard says, Jay, have you told the guests about your interview with Sir Alex? I don't like to talk about the time I interviewed Sir Alex Ferguson.
Was it one or two questions? Was it?
It was
About
2 minutes and 37
91.
seconds.
That's class, though.
That's better than
Yeah, never
my
forget it.
chat with Pep Guardiola.
Oh, you got, go on. How did that go?
Right. So my first, it was at a press conference. My first press conference with Pep, and this was just after. Remember, we got knocked out of Champions League by Spurs.
Of course
with that
I
VAR, yeah.
Not
And
gonna
then-
lie, one of the best
Yeah.
moments of my life.
Right, and then
Post Sir
anyway, so
Alex.
that was the Wednesday night. The Saturday we played Spurs again in the league. Phil Foden scored his first goal. In the press conference, Pep's there, and I was just breaking into doing all this. So it was my first press conference where I was recognised by the press agent guy, whatever. Yeah. And
Was it Simon? Was it Simon? Who was that?
can't remember the guy's name.
Oh,
Basically, so when you go to a press conference, what happens is the manager's there, and then the PR guy's next to him.
So
And
this
he-
is post-match, yeah?
This is post-match, yeah? And he looks out across, and he'll choose who's going to do the question.
Yeah.
Because he'll point at you,
Who, Pep
and
does?
they'll bring no, not
No,
Pep.
this guy,
The,
okay, yeah.
the press officer.
Yeah.
Fred, that's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for, right? So then someone will bring you the microphone, right? And then you get it. But also,
Because
like,
at City, sorry, just to say,
One
at
of them.
City, I don't think you didn't when I've been there, you didn't have a roaming mic at United, but at City, it's
Yeah,
quite well
yeah,
organised, and they have a mic, and it's, you
Yeah.
usually get a fair room.
yeah. So I'd been to a couple of the pre-match conferences as well, but it's a bit different. It's a bit more lively, a bit more energy. Anyway, so he picks me out, sees me, he's like, okay, got the question. The mic comes over, and I'm like, great. And they're just finishing off the other question. And then what you do is you introduce yourself, and then the organisation that you're working for. So I would go, Ant McGinley, Stretford, Paddock,
Yeah.
if things go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But then, as I say that, at that moment, inside me, I just turn into like an 11-year-old, right? And I just suddenly realised, go, oh my God, Pep Guardiola knows my name, and I'm speaking to him.
Did you say
right?
that?
No, this is all happening inside my head, right? So I'm going to ask him about this injury to Kevin De Bruyne, but inside, what happens is it just goes, oh, tell him you love him, tell him you love him. It's amazing. I love you. And so I'm trying to suppress that, and the nerves all kick in. And so I just went, what's the initial on Kevin? Instead of going, that looked like quite a difficult injury to De Bruyne. Anyway, and this is a man whose English is not his first language.
Yeah.
And he literally could have gone, K is the initial on Kevin. Yeah. Anyway, it's on YouTube. His answer is 7 seconds.
Really?
7 seconds.
Was he all right?
Did you
not- Oh, he was fine.
I've done
He was
Pep
fine,
Guardiola
yeah.
a few times because at City, I used to do pre-match.
Right.
And you used to get quite, it's not like United where they can't wait to get out the door. At City, you've done the pre-match. They go on the mic,
Yeah.
you get a scrum before, it's all like, oh yeah, welcome. And there was one where, because I used to work for a radio
now
station,
United.
and they were like, ask Pep Guardiola, we're doing this, we had this campaign about referees getting abuse. and we'd interview this ref and all that. They were going to go on strike, the refs in like lower leagues or non-leagues. Ask him about that, and he didn't want to answer it. He said, I don't talk about officials. And I'm trying to push it, going, oh yeah, I understand that. Do you think there should be a bit more respect for some? Can you understand why some officials have taken this stance? Just so I've got something I can fucking use. Not, I don't talk about officials. And he was like, and he just repeated, I don't talk about officials.
What you've got to do there is just
I
ask
rate
him a
that, though.
completely different question.
Like-
It's like, so like, what do you think about lollipop ladies?
Yeah.
Right,
If you
and then
don't want
edit it afterwards.
But then I've had another one where, do you remember when Gabriel Jesus was on his scooter in the Stretford Centre? This is the sort of cutting edge journalism we used to do at fucking Q103. And my boss was like, get him on Jesus on the scooter, and I'm thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah.
So I tried to word it like it meant something like, how impressed are you that he's taking precautions when he's injured and all this? And he like started laughing and was quite, you know what I mean? It was like a real like sort of nice little bit for the end of the news. But yeah, it's nothing worse when you try and get a fucking answer and it's
What
like,
was his answer
What
to your
for
question?
7 seconds.
Oh, he just literally went, we've not had time to assess it. Like literally
Oh,
that.
right, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
but like there is this thing where like amongst that side of things, when you're on that side of like Jay was saying there, it's what you get from them. And so the more that they say,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, it's almost like the better the question is. Yeah.
Okay.
And so because like literally like some people ask a question and then they'll go off on this tirade and they'll be like this and this and this and they'll talk about philosophies. And like that's almost too good a question because I've got to edit
That's
that
better
down
for the
now.
journalist because he's getting
but
more.
like for me it's like, and the thing is it's like you're waiting so long to get that opportunity to ask him the question. And then, but then like I speak to Pochettino and I have a proper chat with him,
Yeah.
you know, back and forth
Yeah,
because I'm not emotionally invested in it.
Yeah.
So what happened with Ten Hag when we went on pre-season. So we were going round and like they were a bit funny anyway with us being there. We sort of sorted it out, fan channels in the fucking press conference, and he said Macca can have like one question. So I thought, fuck this. After Macca had finished, I'm getting one in. So I said like, what have you made of the young players' maturity? And he said like, maturity. And then I'm getting nervous now because he's not understood what. So I said it again, but I said it in an even more Mancunian accent, like maturity. And then I've got last like Laurie Whitwell.
Charity?
Yeah, behind me laughing, going maturity. I can feel myself going red and thinking, oh mate, it's not gonna. I'm gonna have to just say forget it. And then he went, and then I explained it. I went like, do you think they're showing out like how ready they are at the minute? And he was like, then he gave me a pretty good answer, which thank God, because I thought if he just says, I don't know what you're on about, I'm just gonna die.
It's mad, isn't it?
But yeah,
Because at the end of the day,
I was like, oh
they're
my
just
God.
people.
Yeah.
They're just people
Yeah,
like
they're just
anybody.
human beings,
But it's
yeah.
like I guess it's like for other people, it's the same thing as having to stand up and talk in front of a bunch of people.
But I'm like you though, because I've done like loads of presses where it's, you know, with Pep, I wasn't nervous because, you know, I respect the guy. I don't necessarily like he's a City manager, but I respect him. But I wasn't like, oh my God, it's Pep Guardiola, which obviously I get as a City fan you are. But I remember when they first sent me to a presser with Fergie, they said you don't have to ask anything, and I couldn't have been more relieved. Because I thought, I cannot.
Yeah.
And what made me laugh is once, I remember when I did Jose in the Europa, I asked him about Andy Martial, because Martial had come into the team, he'd been out, he'd come back in, and he scored quite a few goals. And I said to him, just a pretty innocuous question like, oh, Martial's come back into the team, how impressed have you been with his form recently? And he gave me a decent answer, you know, yeah, we always know he's capable of this isn't a surprise, he just needs to keep his head down or whatever. I thought, okay, I've got a good clip there. The guy next to me gets the next question. And this is the Europa League where they did have a microphone. Usually they don't. So it was in a different room for at Carrington. So the guy next to me, he's next. So give him the mic. And he says, just on Martial, where do you think his best position is? Do you think it's coming in from the left or down the middle? Innocent question. He's just been pretty all right with me.
Yeah.
Went mad.
He went fucking apeshit.
Yeah.
Martial, how many times you ask me about Andy Martial? Why don't you ask me about Marcus Rashford? Marcus Rashford scores goals. What's with all this Andy Martial? And I'm like...
Yeah, so glad he asked the one before.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a show, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and like this
press
kid,
conferences.
like, the guy was quite young, and I think there's a report from abroad because of Europa, was like sinking in his chair, thinking, and I'm like, oh my God,
Bless him.
fuck, I didn't
Ruined
ask you.
his career.
Didn't ask after you.
He's never been to
Like,
United since.
Yeah, it was horrible, honestly, and I was like, I felt for the guy, but it's dog eat dog there as well. If you get fucking pelted, you're on your own. No other journalist going to help you.
Yeah.
Like, literally, fucking, see you later, bro. But yeah, it was mad. But that Fergie one was a mix zone for his documentary, so he's coming
Right.
along. So we just got a few minutes. with him.
Amazing.
It was a fucking minute.
Amazing.
But again, it's like
Brilliant.
I'm like you. I'm thinking. I'm speaking to Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
I'm having, and I asked him about the 91 Cup Winners' Cup final because we always joke about it. And I
That's
thought,
brilliant.
fuck it, why not? Because it was the anniversary of it, so it sort of tied in. And he was dead open. And what made me laugh is he's obviously had this brain hemorrhage, and there was talk that his memory might be going and da. And I asked him about the game. He mentioned the game against Forest in 1990. the one where everyone says he turned it around and he lost and he got sacked. And he told me all the players that were injured that day from a game 30 odd years ago, and you just thought he's
His memory's
right,
alright,
yeah.
fine.
That.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was mad. But I was like, the
Yeah.
nerves are there.
It's because suddenly it's like you just that step closer. You know, like we're dead lucky with a lot of the stuff that we do anyway.
I always pinch
But it's-
myself.
yeah.
Like, you know, I was saying to me and Steve were chatting this morning, and I said, like, let's not normalise this shit. Like, you're over there with Rio Ferdinand, you fucking meeting.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to spend the night with Patrice Evra. You've just been chatting to Cafu and fucking Lothar Matthäus. Let's not act like we're all
That's
cool with
brilliant,
this.
mate.
and we're
Yeah,
all-
yeah.
what
You know
I
what
mean?
it's like? You know what it's like?
This is mental.
It's
We're a
like
fan channel after all.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it? Like,
it's-
But
You
it's
fans,
like
you
you
fans
crossing
are.
the line. You're crossing the line through the fan channel, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm
Yeah.
crossing the line and becoming part of the.
it's bizarre. isn't
story.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good because we met, like, you know, because the club have never had anything to do with us. They asked Steve and Macca to leave the training ground once. Who'd been invited by a player and they wanted them to leave. They just, because we're very critical of the Glazers. We fucking hate them.
So they don't like that, no?
Do you think
But
that
I
would
think they've been.
change?
I think they've listened to you this week.
Well, that's. I'm not taking responsibility.
Finally.
You know, but
Glazers in.
Goodness me, it took a while.
what the
didn't it?
club have realised is, you know, whether you like us or not, we've got a big audience and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
do listen and engage with us. And you know, there's certain things you wouldn't want us to, you might not have
Yes,
us
yeah.
involved in. There's other things that you can go, okay, do you know what? You're on pre-season, you're here, you're gonna fucking report on it.
Yeah.
If you come in the
So
press
did-
conference, you know, we've had that conversation. We're not gonna ask Eric Ten Hag, you
Yeah.
know, fucking
Daft
stupid questions
questions.
about,
Yeah.
you know,
So before you went in there, did they have a chat with you? And Did they
I had a
have
little
an
bit of a
issue?
chat with someone who works there who, you know, I've got a mutual friend, and we had
Yeah.
a conversation, and like we were like, we're coming, accreditation and stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that gonna happen, and he went, tell you what, he said he's new involved in it because obviously we had a bit of a change in the
Yeah.
regime, and he went for the pre-season, the fan channels, I'm open to letting you in the press conferences. So he was like, right. So he was in the press conferences. He was in the press bit for
The
the
guy
for
Why
inside
just
the room
a-
with the blow dart, just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's it
why
called
just
like that?
why just pre-season though?
Well, to be fair, I think I've
It
seen
might just
some of the
about
fan,
shut us up for a bit.
I've seen some of the fan channels in the Europa League because I think you can get accreditation for that. For the Premier League pressers, you need the official thing, which is a bit harder to get, but you can still
Okay.
get it.
Yeah.
My attitude towards press conferences, I'm not as bothered about it.
Yeah.
It was great for us to be there. You know, moving forward, we might do it again or whatever, but it's not the be-all and end-all. My sort of thing when we spoke to the club was, and I've said this, and I'll say it on camera, I'll say it all the time, you know, I would love to have had, at the time, I wanted to fucking sit down with someone like Ed Woodward, for example, to
Yeah.
put
Wow.
questions to him.
Yeah.
Questions that I've always
Too
got,
right.
like, what are you doing to my football club, basically.
Yeah,
Weren't going to happen. Steve tried to arrange it. Macca met him once and said, you know, can we have a chat? And he's like, oh yeah, I know you guys are. Well,
Yeah.
didn't happen. Richard Arnold's another one I wanted to chat with him. Or even Eric, Eric Ten Hag would be great. But for
think
me, I
that'd be
wanted to put
brilliant
some of
though,
those
wouldn't it,
questions that the
It's
fans
just
have
too
got
much,
As long as
though,
it-
innit? It's
to
Yeah, but
too
the
risky for
people
the
in
club.
charge.
I know, but as long as it was done in a professional manner, if you're not effing and jeffing,
No,
I
I
think
I'm
it's
a
right.
journalist.
Like,
I've been a journalist for
Think-
10 years. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
sit
know,
down and
yeah.
go,
I know,
you
I
know,
know.
But they
fucking,
don't.
you're a dickhead.
I'm not sure they think
I
of you
don't know
as that.
actually.
You just
That's
you're a
why
fan
we
channel.
had a
I
little
don't know,
meeting first,
actually.
and I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a bit more.
And I
Yeah,
think
you
as well.
see.
I think as
I
well.
don't know what it's
like,
like
it's an
sometimes,
Arsenal
yeah.
fan TV hangover.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mancunian.
they fucking.
it's not edited.
What?
I don't know what.
We've got to hope now that this
I said to
cell
Steve,
goes
right, do
through.
you remember when I was telling you about all the stuff with the Glazers? And we said, when it first pops off with the Glazers, like the round of Liverpool protest, I said, do you know what we need to do? Fuck this. Let's get over to Tampa and let's doorstep him. Right? Seriously. And I knew a kid in Tampa and he sent me the thing and we looked. I'm sure, was you not there when we were looking upstairs?
No,
we were looking upstairs and on Google Street View, is fucking Joel or Avram. I always get mixed up. It doesn't matter. They're both as bad as each other. Outside their house in Florida. On the fucking street view.
Unbelievable.
And like someone had said, look, that's where they live. I was like, well, go down there.
That is
You
mental.
go down there, you and Macca, fucking doorstep. Even if he tells you to fuck off,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
Alexa.
yeah. Video,
Alexa, do you maybe get Ant a Diet Coca-Cola? please?
Can I have a drink?
Come on.
please?
Sorry.
Can I have
Do you know what?
one?
I didn't want to say get him some Coke. So I'd said diet and it's not even fucking
Can I have
diet.
one
I
as
just said
well? Is
get
that
him.
alright if I have one?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's only one. Get him a Fanta.
Oh, no,
do you like Fanta?
Yeah, anything. I'm just
Get him a
need
Fanta, please,
drink.
as well.
Loaded. Please.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I said we'll go down there and we'll doorstep him. In the end, Sky did it. And we couldn't get
Yeah.
over there because it was still
Yeah.
COVID and you had to fill out all these forms and you had to wait 2 weeks for it to get
Yeah.
approved. You couldn't just fly over to Florida like you can
That
now.
would have been some views as well.
Sorry, and a Fanta for a Fanta as
you
well.
very
No, you
much,
can give
mate.
that to
Thank you.
Ant. Sorry.
Cheers, mate.
Sorry,
Thanks for
Alexa.
that.
And a Fanta for Ryan. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, mate.
It's not cold enough.
Second half started.
But second house underway, yeah, sorry. So then we had this idea. We'll send him over there. But then Steve starts getting fucking carried away, doesn't he? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, what I can do is I can put some questions to him. If he doesn't fucking answer him, I'll fucking get hold of him. And I'm like, whoa.
Steve, come on, calm down, bud.
This is exactly
He's off
why.
his head, isn't he?
We're not sending you over to Tampa to beat up the Glazers, even though I'd like to see that. That isn't going to end well. Do you know what I mean?
Cheers.
So we're like, yeah.
Do you still have any doubts that this sale won't go through?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
But so,
I
I mean,
don't want
what
to
is-
talk about them, but
No, we can do.
it's
What's the situation? Because on the outside, the thing we hear is that it was all leveraged with debt or whatever, right? There's also actually in terms of like what is when somebody comes and buys the club, are they going to be buying that debt as
That's
well?
a great
Is
question because I asked
Yeah.
Kieran Maguire, Kieran Maguire says there's several ways that can go. A bank might give a company or a business or conglomerate the opportunity to carry on that debt and just keep furnishing it and keep paying it off, and
Yeah.
like you can still own the club and that debt's still there, but you're paying it off or whatever. There could be a case of where someone comes in and wipes that debt and just goes, right, okay, we're gonna get rid of it.
That's best
Which
case,
is obviously
isn't
the
it?
best case scenario.
is that paying more money for the club?
So it depends on who the owners are and what sort of offer they've got. In an ideal world, what United fans would want, and well, I can only speak for myself, and you know, by all means, guys, correct me if you don't agree, but I think we'd want someone who's going to obviously clear the debt, do up Old Trafford, whether it's revamp it, rebuild it, whatever. You've been Old Trafford, you must know what state it's in. We certainly do. Carrington as well is a 22-year-old training ground.
I mean, I just have to read Ronaldo's
Ronaldo
tweets to talk
came out.
about.
You know what?
Yeah.
The one fucking thing I will agree with him on that interview or two is the Glazer stuff and the facilities.
Yeah.
Although I think a lot of the things he was moaning about have been addressed. The
it was
training
important
ground.
him saying that. though.
Yeah,
I
the
still-
training
He's got
ground
the
isn't.
fire
You know,
really
when the
important.
Glazers took over United, the training ground was 5 years old. It was state of the art.
So let's just and again,
No,
it's
good,
not
it's
getting
good.
at you, but the comparison between what's happened at City over the last 12 years,
Yeah.
right, to what's happened at United. Look at Eastlands now. Look at how that's developed
yeah.
and what's happened there.
Yes.
And it's,
Oh my God, great
Yeah.
block.
Well, you're right, and
Oh,
You know,
and so the
they're
fact is
stepping on it, mate.
now,
They've been
right,
really good.
if they pull out of it, right, if Abu Dhabi they pull out of it tomorrow, they can't take that stuff with them.
No, I get
that
that.
infrastructure's
I get
there
that.
and it's set
Very
up.
good, yeah.
And so that's so whatever the criticisms or whatever, if they pull out, it goes to someone else. We still got that infrastructure. You don't have that.
no. And that was a big part of why Abu Dhabi wanted City was the land. They knew they could develop stuff around there. They knew they could build training ground and stuff. And you know, listen, I'm by any stretch of imagination. I know you're on this podcast and this channel. I'm not going to pretend that I like Man City, what they've done, but I respect the fact that they've got a fucking training ground that is fit for purpose and the academy plays there. And I look at us and we're going down to Lee Sports Village
It's
Oh,
to watch
shocking, isn't it?
the
It's
under
absolutely
23s.
shocking.
You've got Casey Stoney, the women's manager, quitting because the women's team had to go to Port Cabin to go to the loo.
Well, he was
It's
still
a
in-
fucking
he was-
joke.
And
He
as
was
well,
still
it
in
took
them
you a
a
long
while
time
ago,
to
though.
bring the women's team back as well.
It's a joke. We met a
It's
big
shocking.
and we say we're the biggest club in the world and fucking act like it.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's just bizarre though, because I was thinking this the other day. Like, it's so like we've been so focused on anyone but the Glazers.
Yeah.
And, I mean, touch wood. Hopefully, this is the beginning of the end
still.
for them.
Oh,
But like, we've never, ever,
I
ever
got
thought
going
about
on.
who would you rather have? Who do you want
That's
to buy
that
the
conversation
club?
that's now and
We've never, ever, ever had that conversation. Ever. It's always just been the Glazers are shit. This is why the Glazers are shit.
Would Apple be
This is
good?
why they've got to go.
Apple.
Yeah.
Well, they'd have the most money.
I don't think it happened, but you know why not? Would you go to the Trafford Arena?
Aye
Trafford.
yeah.
Hey, would you
Scott
have a bit of that?
Scott I. McTominay.
Yeah.
it would sound very
Download your meat pie at half time.
How Shakespearean would the commentary sound though? I, Anthony.
He would run it. Hey. No, I mean, there's sort when
It
we
is
spoke to
mad.
Kieran Maguire, who's a football finance expert, he said he didn't actually think Apple would happen. He said they don't buy sports teams and they rarely buy companies. They do sometimes, like Beats or whatever.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
said someone like Facebook's more. He thought
Spotify,
was more likely.
possibly.
Yeah, he said
Spotify.
more. You look at big sort of.
Barca, what they got something to do with Barca?
So they've got
haven't
they own
So
the
right.
sponsors of
It's got big
shirts and the
sponsorship.
stadium as well. Yeah.
So if you look at companies that actually do stuff like that, like Facebook bought WhatsApp, they bought Instagram,
Yeah.
they could buy United. Like
Yeah.
that isn't beyond the realms of possibility.
I mean, to be honest, City are more likely to buy United than they are. In
Oh,
terms of that. No, but
yeah,
just that model of going around buying
yeah,
clubs.
yeah, you're right. It's true. Like there's sort of one the Saudi Arabian guy gave an interview, and you know he was saying that the Saudi family or the Saudi whatever investment fund can't buy United because they already own Newcastle, but private
yeah, but there's
private.
so many question marks around
The-
that
the-
sort of
the
stuff,
problem
isn't
is,
there?
though,
Like
is-
Saudis
Yeah,
and stuff like
you
that.
don't want that, do you?
I think the big
You
problem
don't
is
really
like
want it.
once you're up for sale, like you've got very little control over who's going to buy you or where they come from.
Well, it's a
That's
bidding
the
war,
thing.
isn't it?
It's the
It's a bidding
Glazers'
war.
decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bidding
It's
war.
not our decision.
Do you know? Look
It's
at
the
Chelsea.
Glazers'
They had
decision.
200 bids or something.
Who's
So
the,
United
who's
are going to
the
get that.
Richard? What's his? What's the,
Jim Ratcliffe.
Jim, that's it.
Jim
A.
Ratcliffe would be good, I think.
Oh.
I think out of all the
He
options,
seems very
he's the one
clever.
that's probably the most favourable because he's
he's a
from
United fan,
Failsworth.
isn't he?
Not that it
Yeah.
matters where you're from, but
Yeah.
he's been.
gets it, doesn't he?
Was
He
at
gets it, I
United?
think
He
that's
was
the
a
thing.
United kid fan as a boy. Went to the '99 final. He seems to understand football.
Yeah.
The Glazers never understood football, and that's the most
just an
the most
investment,
frustrating
isn't it?
thing for me. The Glazers, they're so fucking thick that if they'd have actually got
Hi,
football,
if you're watching, by the way.
yeah.
If they're watching.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I did. I planned a video today. It's going to come out on Steve's channel
Go on.
about the class of '92 and whether they'd have any chance of buying United.
Right, okay.
And I think the ideal scenario would be having maybe Neville, Beckham, or something part of a consortium that
Yeah.
could buy United. Just
Soccer
because
Beckham
you'll have
doing it,
people
though.
in there who are fans, who know the club like
Been through this.
better than anyone else. They know what we want. I mean, whether it's possible or not.
I mean,
is
there's
a
nothing wrong with
different
having
question.
like a dream scenario, and
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
No,
the
no,
problem is
exactly,
though, the way the market is with everything is like that's got to be some kind of consortium in terms of the backing and the money to be able to.
Hey, oh,
to
we
get
could
in
be.
this.
Oh, was that
Too much.
look like a heavy touch? That
Yeah, no, you're right. And like you said, it'll just be a bidding war, and quite simply, whoever wants it the most and has the most money will win. It's simple.
you
as
just
that.
want someone, right?
But anyone but the Glazers.
who comes in and knows football. Like, look at FSG, right? They pretty much did similar things to Glazers without all the debt. Spent money, but they had the difference was they were fucking throwing money at the wrong times and whatever, and not backing the manager properly. They got the right manager in. They got the right person above him,
Yeah.
who understood transfers, making
Infrastructure
deals
was
happen,
good, wasn't it?
infrastructure. They had this sort of 5-year period or whatever they've had of pretty impressive success. Champions League title win, coming second, fucking winning the FA Cup, the League Cup. You know, in terms of like
Club World Cup.
in contrast to what they
like
had
for them,
before.
I mean, I hate the
Yeah.
Scousers, but that's a successful period.
Yeah.
And now they're going to sell up and fuck off, but they make a load of money. But they've had all that success because they had the sort of foresight to go, right, let's get football people in. Sheikh Mansour got football people in. The Glazers got Ed Woodward in, who ain't got a fucking jar of
Just
clue about
business,
football.
business, business.
And he's
innit?
like, he
Money.
might make you some money commercially or whatever, but he don't know about.
But
football
how has
and
it
stuff.
been business wise? Because are you still
Shocking.
making all that money, or is that started to nosedive?
It
as
started,
well?
I think
Started to flatline
the,
as
the
last thing you
team
said.
viewer kit deal was the first time we've had a kit deal that was a smaller deal than the one before.
Wow.
In terms of sponsorship, it was the first time it ever
But
happened.
like, you've got because I used to do a podcast which took the piss out of everyone, not just United, but you've got official tractor partners, official instant noodle partners.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
every
different
opportunity
now.
that you've got.
That was what Ed Woodward gets credit for, although I won't give him credit for anything, was being able to get money from like where nothing, where other people never hadn't thought of it before. The Glazers, because they came from this American style of thinking, it's like, right, you get that. We're the official noodle part. We're the official soft drinks. We're the official pen partner, official betting partner.
Oh, yeah.
official clothing
Players
It
doing
actually
adverts for
annoys me
Casa
though.
Diablo.
partner. Yeah. Everything
I
was.
know.
Do you know what I mean?
But all that money just went on paying off debt and then more debt
Yeah.
coming out and then
Dividends,
going
dividends,
yeah, yeah.
fucking
That's
idiots.
that's what really
think-
gets you. Like that's the thing.
And that was
Also
paying
for
off
the
their debt
penny,
to
so
buy
they
the
could own the
club.
club.
Yeah, but also
And say them
putting
dividends.
money
Just a
into
cash
the
cow.
other projects like the NFL team and they're winning the Super Bowls. and
Fucking
there's all the
Tom
money's
Brady
going
plays
on
for you.
Tom
What do you
Brady,
fucking
I
do?
mean.
Not the
But
difference
that's
that
the
makes
thing,
in my
I
mean,
life.
it's mental.
If they didn't take any money out, it wouldn't have mattered. Like, think about how much money we've spent anyway having the Glazers taking money out of the club. Imagine if that money wasn't taken out of the club and someone spent the money wisely.
Yeah.
We don't need someone like
that's
Abu
the
Dhabi
issue as well.
or we don't need a nation state, a big injection of cash. Manchester United makes the money.
You just need someone who
Already.
knows what they're
You
doing.
need
Someone
Football-wise.
who wants to win and
Yeah.
wants to create a football team that's successful, not just wants to make money.
Ed Woodward literally
and that's
said
why like this is
in a-
so important right now.
in a meeting that's I think it was fucking streamed. Looked like, you know, Manchester United don't need to have success on the pitch to make money. That is the
Imagine
last
your
thing you want to hear as a
CEO
fan.
saying that.
Do you know what
It
I mean? That
happened.
is the fucking level
But
of stupidity.
but
that we're
if
dealing with.
nothing else, that just separates him from the fans because that proves he's not a fan.
Yeah.
Because that's all you want.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, you want number one as a fan, you want to see your team do well. You want great players you can get attached to. You want a cup run or two. You want to be challenging. You don't want to be humiliated. That's what you
I
want as a
agree,
fan. Any club, any level.
No,
that's
it's
what you
not
want.
free.
Never a foul.
It's not a free kick.
Carrie Wilkinson, welcome to the academy.
Welcome. How is it?
That was a good voiceover there, Dre.
What
I
is
like
it?
that.
You know,
You
these
should have that every
academies-
time somebody joins the academy.
things,
Welcome.
What do they get for being part of like
Just
the
gets
academy
played.
and that?
What do they get? I'm glad you asked that. They get
They
what?
I actually don't
they
know.
get-
Get extra.
Kit,
They get extra
training session.
No. They get a free training session with RH coaching, elite coaching.
Yeah, I'll bring a
Contact
can
him.
of Coke.
Contact him for that. You get
Follow me on Instagram.
A 4-hour free training session
Jeez, the
Milk and
every
cookies.
night. Every night for 6 months. No, you get. We've got extra content, and it is extra over on the members section. So we've got the United Rewind stuff there recently. I did a look at Eric Ten Hag. So other little bits and pieces, fantasy football stuff. You also get discount on the merchandise as well. If you go over to paddockmerch.com, you get a bit of discount there.
Still not there, is it?
You get
Still not
access
there,
to our exclusive Telegram group as well, so you can have a chat with like-minded Reds. There isn't a giveaway on the Telegram group. There's some sort of surreptitious. What's the word I'm looking for? Salacious, not secretive. Salacious rumours going around that there's a giveaway. There isn't, but we have got the 12 days of Paddock starting soon.
Well in.
We'll be doing giveaways.
So there's only one.
I was
team
just
that
about
they're
to
gonna
say
score.
US
that.
are
Do you
doing
think
well.
they're playing for a draw here? No.
US are doing really well, to
Yeah.
be fair.
Go for
On the
it.
front foot,
They're
they're
the only
playing
team
well.
that look like they're going to score.
You spent a lot of time in America, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, mate. Yeah.
Have you? Where's your favourite bit of America?
My favourite as a tourist would be Vegas.
I love Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, I love Vegas.
But my favourite to work's LA.
Really?
Was it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
LA's
West
a mad
Coast.
city.
Amazing.
What's LA like?
So
Amazing.
literally,
Just like
It's a bit like have you ever been to Eccles?
No, you say that.
Yeah,
It's a bit like that, but what?
You say that GTA, but like it looks like it's based
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
that's
It's
exactly what it is,
unreal.
yeah.
and also like it's you look at anywhere you want to go, you look on the map and you go like, oh, it's half a mile away. You get an Uber and it's
Mate.
like, how is that $50 and taking half an hour?
Nah, the
it's just 'cause the
traffic's
traffic is.
horrendous.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a place.
I've been to LA. Like when we went to America, we went to San Francisco, Santa Monica, and then over to Vegas and back to LA. But we were going to go other places, but once we got to Vegas, we just stayed there for a week.
Did you see a show in
Oh,
Vegas?
mate.
No, we didn't. We just went
What a
clubbing
place.
and gambling.
Right. Oh, I went.
Stayed in a Hooters. That's where we stayed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We all bunked up in a Hooters. There's only me and like a couple of mates.
What a place,
There. Was it
Vegas.
uni?
Best
Went there
place
for
on
the
the
summer.
planet.
And it's so small
for a
as
holiday.
well. So it's like there's
Unreal.
3/4 of a mile the main strip. The old
So
town
hot
is
as
worth
well,
going
isn't
to.
it?
So, oh.
Yeah, the
You
old
get,
town's
like
got-
everyone
I've zip
gets
wired on
taxi
that.
everywhere, and
Yeah.
even though it's
Zip-wired.
nowhere.
The old
Do you know
town.
what as well?
Unreal.
Anybody that is going to Vegas, right? This is worth checking out. Going to Death Valley either before or afterwards as well.
Annie
hot
Maguire
place, isn't
again.
And there's
Never
a
been there.
It's a
The
foul.
hot bit.
Never been to Death Valley.
there's a place.
Finish.
There's a because I drove to San Francisco after, so I was in Vegas for my 40th, and then drove to San Francisco. Plotted it out myself. There's a hotel in the middle of Death Valley. I thought I'll stay there, break up the journey. It's called Stovepipe Wells. And what happened? This guy had this plan to build a hotel in the middle of Death Valley, but ran out of money before he got to the middle, so he just built it here. Anyway, I'm in this hotel, and we go to get something to eat in a little restaurant. And on the wall, they've got a big poster like you got over there. Original poster, Revenge of the Jedi. Right, so any
Oh,
Star
yeah, 'cause
Wars,
that was the
any Star
original-
Wars fans will know. Like, so
that
when
was
they
what it was
announced
gonna be
the third
called.
film was going to be Revenge of the Jedi, and then George Lucas went, "No, I changed my mind." And so I spoke to the waiter, and was like, "You must have a huge
Come on,
Star
there's
Wars fan here to have that." I said, "Oh no, there's just we got loads of that stuff because they filmed it here." I was like, "What?" So yeah, they filmed Star Wars here. I was like, "No, they didn't. Filmed it in Tunisia." So they got back from the filming the original Star Wars from Tunisia, and they were cutting it together, and it didn't make sense. So they had to cut some extra scenes in, but they couldn't afford to go back to Africa. So they went to Death Valley, and so all the scenes where R2-D2 is attacked by the Jawas, and Ben and Luke and all those things, and R2-D2 and C-3PO on the sand dunes.
Don't tell me you met C-3PO.
Yeah, he was still wandering around the sand dunes looking for R2. Yeah, but the thing, so literally, I've been on Tatooine effectively without realising it.
That's meant that.
Mate.
That
But the
is
thing,
fucking
it
sick.
doesn't look
Tackle,
like it
great
does
tackle.
because it's sand dunes and it changes
Yeah.
all the time. But it's literally round the corner from this hotel.
That's meant
It's
that.
amazing.
Did you see any lightsabers?
No,
Are they real? That's the question.
Did you know
Yeah.
why he changed his mind?
Are they real?
because he decided it wasn't a very Jedi quality.
Yes, you wouldn't
but
have-
that's
yeah,
why they
no,
had Revenge
yeah.
of the Sith.
Yes.
It's,
Good lad. Monique von Lintel, welcome to the Academy. What a lovely name.
Well,
Great name. Welcome
Yeah.
to the academy.
Monique
I didn't
von
realise
that
Lintel.
sounds South African.
it's so more in depth what you guys do rather than just do the videos, isn't it? Like, I want to realise like you do the academy stuff and all that carry on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been growing now 2 years and 4 months. I think we took since we took over the channel. And we've had some great
Okay.
support off everyone, our members, people that watch, people that subscribe, people that just join in with the chat. And we appreciate it. And
That's
you know,
class,
it's been good, man. It's been
Very good.
you know, considering we took over in lockdown when there was no football and no fans at the game, feel like this could be a disaster. Do you know what I mean?
I'd love that meeting with the bank manager. I'd love to see.
Yeah, right. We bought this channel. Have you got a bit of experience in business? No, none of us have ever done anything with business. All right, okay. What's the channel based on? Football. All right. What sort of football? Speaking to fans after the game and that, and covering matches.
What
But
matches?
there's no matches on at the minute. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, we know that. And there's no fans at any games because there are no games. And every game there is behind closed doors. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good luck with that one then.
It'd be like, I'm out. Dragon's
yeah.
Den.
It's like. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been
That's
enjoyable,
brilliant,
and you know, hopefully as well, because it's been a bit up and down. Obviously, being United fan recently, but hopefully, especially with the Glazers going, things could be on
Yeah,
the up.
it'd be nice doing this channel when United are good.
Yeah, I mean, imagine. I always feel like I always get a little bit envious because, like, when we was Devils, we used to do a few bits. You know, we read Men's TV.
Yeah.
And then you just saw like when they got to the European show me the Champions League final and you know that journey and all
okay.
that. And
We need-
It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious. It's
There's
pretty
going to be a
good.
substitution
You
here
go
because he needs to
Barcelona?
change things up.
I think I am. Are you going?
You're gonna.
I might go and just have it in the home
50-50.
end. You know, are you having it or what?
Me and my
You up for
brother
it?
are really
Our age.
considering it.
Don't
Yeah?
know, mate.
I'll
Yeah,
have
me
it.
and my
I'm
brother are
having
really
it.
considering it. Well, I was saying to Chris upstairs, like, you know, we've got a few like away friendlies in Spain, like when the World Cup's going on.
Cadiz.
We've got like that'd be a good trip. wouldn't
She's
it?
rapping her. for a
Cadiz
song,
away
yeah.
in a mid-season friendly.
Well,
Can you imagine
City
that?
did that, didn't he? Like
Yeah.
3 games into the season, we nipped over and played Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
That was mental.
they did.
What
Yeah.
was that all about? Like, why did that game happen?
It was it somebody's testimonial?
Right.
And Pep had agreed to do it. And because I think it was before the Premier League season was brought back early for the World Cup, he'd agreed to it and they just didn't bother changing it. It was like, I'll do it anyway. Going
So
with players.
Was it midweek?
Yeah, it's like on the Wednesday
So you
night.
played at the weekend.
Yeah.
Played at the next weekend.
It was
and had the
because
friendly
like
in the middle.
game week 3, game week 4, something like that, yeah.
Fair play.
I think that wing is
Mikey
just
Nathan
out
here
of
says,
that.
I'd really love to see
Yeah.
the Paddock to follow the MUFC women's team. We should be supporting all United. On that front, we do stuff around the women's team. Not enough, I admit that. I'm not going to pretend we do. We used to do fan cams and all that sort of stuff there. But we are going to be doing more stuff around the women's team. So do watch this space. I'm not just saying that. That should be starting in a couple of weeks as well.
Okay.
So we do need to do more
Trouble
on
here
that. I
for this
agree.
corner.
They got a good win against Arsenal, didn't they, recently?
3-2 last minute.
Yeah.
Last minute.
It was at the
Alessia
Emirates,
Russo
wasn't
won it.
Great ball.
I saw that.
Whoa! Jesus, wet.
Pulisic almost direct from the corner.
I thought that was like Ronaldinho in 2002 then.
You're definitely right. He needs some changes. He needs
Yeah,
some fresh.
this is it.
Shocking.
It's just
The
all the
US have been
momentum's
all over us, to
with.
be
Yeah,
fair.
man.
It feels like
Did you get a touch there, Pickford?
Yeah, I think so.
it feels like England aren't trying to win this; they're just holding for a draw, and which does not make sense really.
I don't think they're holding off a draw. I just don't think they can get in the game.
No worries, Mikey. Sorry, someone in the chat.
Oh,
saying
Pulisic
thanks.
has got some great delivery on these corners.
Yeah.
These dead balls.
Right, see if you've jinxed him.
Away. Need to wake up
Was
here.
it?
The
Out
three
swing.
Lions, I think.
Banana.
All right, so who do you bring on then? Here we go.
Foden.
Right,
Rashford.
Who are you bringing
Mount.
off? Foden for Mount.
Foden,
Oh,
Rashford,
Rashid,
Greenwood.
because
I bring Rashford on probably for Sterling. Or
Double
maybe
change.
Saka. Maybe Saka.
Double change.
I don't think Saka's done
Mount
much.
for Foden
Yeah.
and Sterling.
I'd
for
definitely do a
Rashford.
double change.
Get Wilson on for Kane.
He won't
That's
do
a
that.
brave
He
move.
won't do
Kane
it.
ain't done much.
End it.
Oh,
We got
fuck
Henderson.
off.
See what- but this is my issue, though. This is my issue, like I said to you before.
That is
It's
literally
negative.
the last substitution I would have made.
So-
I'd have
negative.
brought on
It's- it's-
fucking Aaron Ramsdale before
Honestly.
they brought on Jordan Henderson.
Honestly,
You fucking beige
This is
bastard.
why people have an issue with it, though. There's games
His,
here.
his
you need
reaction
quality.
is that we're holding on. Let's bring Henderson. He's not going for a win. That's what he needs
No,
to
is he
be
fuck
doing.
going for a win? Jordan Henderson don't even get in the Liverpool team anymore. It's like, what are you, like Liverpool,
They're
what,
good
ninth?
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get in a team that's ninth and he's 33 or whatever he is. Let's bring him on when we
Maybe they
fucking
need to
want a
play
winner.
him.
Fucking
This
boring.
is the issue that
Boring.
England fans will
Swat.
always have with him. The game then, he's freshening up. They're all over us. Need a little bit of quality.
But
someone
then,
who's on
at the same
ball.
time, though, you know,
they are,
if
don't
they
they?
win this, they'll be like, "Oh, what a genius!" No,
Yeah, but-
again,
Yeah.
the fickleness.
Grealish.
Grealish coming on.
Well, at least that's a positive move.
Yeah, that, I don't
Jordan
mind
Henderson.
that. I don't mind that.
See,
but
England look very like outnumbered in the middle.
Need
Yeah.
a bit of quality
Do
and
look
some, get
very
on the ball.
outnumbered.
And,
Like
Is that
having
Bellingham
Grealish
there?
will give
Come
him
on,
a
here
bit
we
of
go.
respite.
can't create fuck all.
Why
You're
can't
right.
we create anything? It's true.
Good Kane.
Here we go.
No.
USA are very compact.
I think also bringing Grealish on
It's good to see.
and the
Go on,
amount.
you're a City fan. Here. What do you make of that one?
So I think Grealish. One
great
thing that Grealish does really well is get fouled,
Yeah.
and that's going to break the game up
Yeah.
a little bit, and that's going to.
That is a skill, you
Yeah.
know.
Would
No,
you,
it absolutely is.
would you have picked, brought Grealish on ahead of Foden, as someone who watches both of them week in, week out?
God. Well, I'd say that
Henderson.
Grealish is a much better player this season than he
lady.
was last season.
Okay.
I think last season was very much a learning curve for him.
I mean, fair enough.
But in this game now,
Yeah.
I think in terms of like, if he's bringing him in on to sort of break up the play, then absolutely bring Grealish
Okay.
on because he's going to win the fouls. Foden is going to bring you some magic, but maybe he's going, bring Grealish on, slow it down, and then bring Foden on with like 15
Is it
minutes.
5 subs you can make?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So there's still time, and
Yeah.
I just can't get over the size of those benches. I swear to God, that's a
Run all the
longest.
way through the half ball there.
It's just like the longest row of seats.
It's an
I've
actual
seen.
FIFA
So
rule, though.
Henderson's coming on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you bringing off?
I think you'd take Bellingham off.
Pickford.
I don't agree with that. By the way, I don't think it's a good move, but I think he will. I think he'll bring
then
off
you got
Mount.
2 foot-
I
2
think does he
holding
bring off
midfielders?
Mount for Grealish? Does that work?
Or
you,
Sterling.
possibly,
Maybe.
Sterling.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he'd leave Sterling on though.
But then
He might take
do
Saka
you have
off.
Rice and Henderson sitting, and who's going to be in the pivot? Who's going to be in front?
I mean,
I think what he's doing is he's just
Mount-
reacting
Mount.
under pressure, and he wants to try and relieve the pressure. Relieve the pressure.
Yeah, but
Not
bringing
relieve the pressure.
Yeah.
another holding midfielder is not, though, is it? In terms of defensively, yeah, it's more solid, but it's just inviting people onto you then. This is what happened in the Italy game, and this is why people will always have a.
he did that in the
have
Italy
issues-
game, didn't he? Brought on Jordan Henderson and fucking took him off.
This is why people have issues with him at times.
Do you know what I mean? Well, it says it all, like, don't it, when you sub in the sub?
Penalties there.
It was, but still.
Oh, Sterling is coming off.
Sterling, yeah.
Okay.
All right. I called that right. Bloody hell.
Yeah, well,
I'll
nailed
get me
it.
caught. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, well done, mate.
you've peaked.
Great work. Bellingham, Jay.
Yeah.
Get your coat,
Yeah,
Jay.
we both peaked.
Thing is, he probably just wants to put 2 holding players in because he was getting forward a lot and it was creating a lot of gaps.
No,
for the
listen, and I understand
US
it from
players to get in there.
understand it from a defensive point of view, but I mean, like, you're just inviting pressure onto you then. At
And
least
I mean-
he's making them runs that way, so he's got something to think about.
So what would you have done to the midfield then?
Tough question.
Because you
I
couldn't just
probably
leave it
would've-
how it was.
No, because we was getting overloaded. I get that, but I wouldn't. My changes wouldn't have been anyone in there for now. I would have changed my wide players before I would have changed it in there. Mount probably coming off, like I said.
Bit of a wake-up call, this, isn't it?
You can change formation and
Aye.
stuff like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
after all the
after,
steamroller.
yeah, and you think
Yeah,
America
London.
aren't exactly world beaters, but great.
Oh,
Thought that was
that
going round
short?
Kane's head then.
Touch Henderson. Henderson, unreal Henderson.
Hey, that's what he's in the team
he
there
is.
for. Told
There he
you,
is.
There he
told you,
is.
Graham.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey,
As I said, no
Trippier.
one's ever opened
put
a
it
pack
behind
of
him.
players on FIFA and gone, Jordan Henderson, yes!
Ah, mate. Go on, then. Nah, it's a one got wide.
Packing Jordan Henderson on FIFA, he'd be gutted. What a waste of FIFA points that would be. Goodness me.
Come on, lad, step on it. Last 20.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's gone a bit weird, hasn't it? This game.
I
So
think
you've
that-
now got what? You've got Henderson and Rice.
Yeah, Holden using
Both
the hole.
sitting.
Mount or
And then what?
Mount's
Is
that
Grealish
wide, isn't
playing
it?
ahead of them?
No, he's out wide, isn't he?
I haven't seen him yet.
He's out wide left. Well, he was.
4-2-4,
Yeah, he's on the
it's
ball
it's
there
not
now.
gone down very well. The
Yeah, look, this is what you brought him on for.
substitutions.
Grealish is much quicker this. Oh,
I
Nice.
mean,
Oh.
he lost it, but
Listen,
that's
I don't,
positive.
I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't
That's what he's
mind
on for.
Grealish. I think Henderson wants a job.
No, I
to be
don't. Yeah,
honest.
Grealish is a positive like move, innit? You can see him getting at him,
Yeah, because
causing
that's what
problems.
he's good at. But
Henderson
Henderson's
just seems
ridiculous.
fucking. It just seemed a bit
Get off
pointless.
him.
That.
I don't know. I think he just adds a bit of stability.
they do not
Yeah,
like
cool.
holding in this World Cup at all, do they?
But I still
Matt
think-
Wick says absolutely muggy manoeuvres from Southgate with those subs.
He's right,
That should be
he's
used
right.
more in commentary. That-
You don't. It's just negative.
Martin P says Mount needs to come off.
Agree.
Oh yeah, he's still on the pitch. He's
Mount
even
must have
caught.
something on Southgate. I'm telling you.
I love
He
that.
must.
Just say
I'd
that.
honestly, it'll be. I would bring on your next substitution now, assuming there's no goals.
Yeah.
Is Foden on for Mount? Oh
Yeah.
no!
Go on, press.
Come on!
The thing is, that press isn't working.
Yeah.
Too far off.
With.
Wilson is
There's
quite
a
quick
foul.
as well. So bring Wilson on for the last 15 minutes too.
Lads.
Could be 1-0 or 0-0, but
Lads.
not to England. Well, definitely not 0-0.
Yeah,
to
this
England.
is the best 0-0 win we've had against.
Will be one of them headlines. We
Yeah.
win. We win 0-0.
What hill was it again?
Bunker Hill. Yeah, this is it's the biggest stalemate since Bunker Hill. 1775.
Oh, what a stalemate that was.
That was.
Oh,
hey, no one really won that one, did they? Let's have it right.
Literally.
Hey, there were no,
Sides
there were
so
no
equal.
victors.
They were so equal on the day. Weren't
Yeah. It's typical. George Best says Southgate totally clueless.
Tell you
There
what, he's
you
done
go.
well
He's
to. He's
speaking
done well
for us.
to.
Yeah. On the anniversary. His anniversary is
If
definitely.
it doesn't work
Yeah,
out
it is.
with ETH, would you take Southgate?
No, absolutely fucking not. Honestly,
No.
he was linked with us, wasn't he? Do you remember? It was a couple of years ago after
Yeah.
the World Cup in 2018,
Right.
saying, "Oh yeah, Southgate."
Didn't
United.
Danny Murphy say it would be a good idea? Or
Danny Murphy said United should have got Southgate over fucking Ollie. But Danny Murphy just
Yeah.
also said United shouldn't have celebrated their win over fucking Leeds last season because he's a fucking idiot. All right.
Strange, man.
Fuck yeah.
Strange.
Was it because he was Leeds and Liverpool? Is there another club he could
No,
have played
no,
for?
Danny. It was Danny Murphy. Was he at Leeds? Danny
He was at
Murphy?
Leeds, yeah.
Was it? Right.
He just if he played it. Oh, Robbie
Robbie
Fowler.
Robbie
Yeah,
Fowler.
Leeds, Liverpool, Man City.
There's a couple that have done it,
Yeah.
I think. There's
Bellamy.
The Holy
Robbie
Trinity.
Fowler, James Milner,
Craig Bellamy.
Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
Was it Bellamy at Leeds, was it?
Yeah.
Bellamy was a real journeyman. He did.
Yeah, I
West
think
Did
he
Ham.
was,
I didn't think he was. I didn't know he was at
I
Leeds.
think he was.
Let's have a.
Or am I thinking
Yeah.
of Newcastle?
No, he did.
Newcastle definitely.
He
at
did Newcastle.
That's it. Liverpool.
He did. I mean, I know he did a fucking
Leeds.
lot of clubs.
Yeah.
He probably might. Have, no,
And,
he
yeah,
didn't.
not just
he did
golf,
everyone, but
not just golf clubs as well.
yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Remember that? It's funny you talk about Vegas though. Lads I know went over to Vegas, and you know, like they're on the sort of on the road, and they saw
Oh, go on, Jack.
saw Craig Bellamy. So they're all Reds. They're all giving him shit. Yeah, Bellamy, you dickhead, and all that, right? So he's fucking one of them, like, is giving it him loads. So he's fucking Bellamy's ran over across the road.
Yeah.
Said to him, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Really?
Class. Stuck it on him. Yeah. Love that for me.
The lad
I
shit
do
it
rate
as well.
that, though.
Yeah,
I
I
do rate
do.
that.
I
I do
thought that's
rate
meant
that.
that.
So
Everyone's human.
Said it's like roasting
Yeah,
heat, and he's
no,
ran
fair
fucking
play.
like 100 metres to fucking
do,
cover
do you know?
Exactly.
Do you know who else is out in Vegas now? Lives there.
Go on.
Right.
Matt-
Thomas Gravison.
Gravison,
Really?
yeah. Millionaire, innit?
Right. So basically, a mate of mine bumped into him like years ago. So he's from Tranmere, and he bumped into Gravison towards the end of his career. And he said to him, "So, like, are you thinking about going into coaching
Mint
or
it
whatever?"
now.
He says,
How
"No,
good's Beckham?"
I've saved up my money." He says, "And as soon as I retire, I'm going over to Vegas, putting it all on black,
there you go.
and then just that's it." And you're like, "You're mad." Anyway, apparently that's what he did. He did
Shut up.
Yeah,
He's a
literally all the money he'd
multi-millionaire.
made, all the money he'd made from football, he flew to Vegas,
joking.
put it on black. Number came up, and now he's a professional poker player out there.
What?
Seen his
Yeah.
missus as well.
It's good. Not a very good strategy. Put it on black and hope it wins. How did he go pro? He must be lucky. He must be
must have
pretty
won- well, he
lucky.
won, didn't he? So-
yeah, he's
This is now we
looking to get
transition.
signed as a Galactico.
This game is so bad. We've
Mate,
transitioned
it's
into
mad.
being a
Right,
poker
don't worry
analysis channel.
about that. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. As 1,500 people watching. Hit that like button, and if you're not doing, subscribe to the channel. Can we have a subscribe link in the chat, please? Oh, sorry, it's pinned. There's a pinned link in
Good at
the
his job,
in the
Ethan,
chat.
mate, I'm telling you, he's on it. He's on it.
Ethan.
That
I'm impressed with
thumbnail
We
him.
call
you
him.
know.
We call him the Ryan Hopper of production.
No,
That's
honestly,
how good he is.
just the best in
Hey.
the game. Then,
Honestly,
yeah.
he's different
Wonder if
levels.
he's put my
People,
socials
presenters,
in
you know,
on the
like
chat
players
and that.
come from United to
You've never seen him move so
Hey,
quick.
hey.
Hey, he was on it there.
Straight to
wasn't
the
he?
keyboard.
Yeah. See how players come for you for coaching. Yeah. Producers
Yeah.
come here for him to coach them.
Brilliant, mate.
Do you know what I mean? From the BBC and ITV and all that, they come here
Don't
for
blame 'em, mate.
workshops.
Best
Right,
of
That's
the
why,
best.
that's why they joined the academy.
Yeah,
yeah.
best of the best. Oh, I don't even know. My Twitter is the best of the best.
Wow.
Hey.
I don't even know it.
Yeah. What do you want to know? His Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. If you do a little search, you know, we follow the kid.
Instagram and Twitter
if-
and all
if
that
we
kind
plan
of.
with
RH Elite Coaching, all one word.
Bloody hell, they are.
Hey.
Wasn't hard. was
Diogo
it?
Dalot and Bruno Fernandes
Yeah.
are on the cover
Oh,
picture.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you should have got in there with them.
Nah.
Do you have a favourite? Or you're not allowed
No.
to say? You know.
No, they're all good lads, to be fair. I like Alanga. Alanga's probably my favourite.
Oh, you work with Langley, don't you, as
Yeah.
well?
I get along with him the best.
Rhythm is a dancer.
He's a good lad. Very good lad.
Right, here we go. Here's a
Here we
chance.
go.
Don't
Here we
shot.
go.
Oh, go on. He's done
Nah,
Oh, it's a
really-
fucking goal
really
kick.
poor,
Oh, it's
isn't it?
offside. It's not
It's
happened for
actually
Saka
been
today
very
at all, has it? Commentators
But
curse with praising
I
myself.
think it's.
I need a Waz.
I think he's been
Why
shut out by the Americans. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Looks like the Americans are making a change.
Like
Oh,
Michael
Leeds,
Jackson.
isn't it?
Marcus is coming on.
Is that lad play for Leeds? He's coming on for them.
Number 11 for the...
I think so. Yeah.
He
He's.
does, doesn't he?
Is he the one that scored like 3 games in a row?
I think so.
There's Paul Pogba's haircut
Ethan's
coming
mate.
off.
Yeah, so it's McKennie, coming off.
Number 11.
I don't even know who that is. I've got this fucking World Cup thing here. and it's
Aronson.
not- Aronson. Is he from Leeds? Or was he?
It's for Leeds, I think.
Here's the danger. The last time England, I remember a big tournament with somebody in the team whose name ended in Son. Was like Iceland. Yeah.
Iceland, do you remember that under
Do you
Roy
want to
Hodgson?
know something shameful but also quite cool?
Go on.
So, not to big up gambling, but I
Go
took
on.
a free offer on gambling. I got £25 with this thing. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So I put a tenner on Wayne Rooney to score. I thought this is going to happen. Tenner on a penalty to be scored in the game. And then I had a fiver left. I was like, I'll put it on. And there was like 25,
Yeah,
30 to 1
Iceland.
for Iceland to win. So, of course, 10 minutes in, Wayne Rooney scores a penalty. Hey, happy days. Then by half time, we're 2-1 down. I'm thinking, I'll cash it in before we come back and win it. My mate's like, no, hang on like that. It was the best second half of football I've ever watched because I was so like tense. And I had a very good day. After
That's
that.
sick, that.
But it's
Fair
just
play.
like, it's a weird position to be in. And I always thought maybe
Yeah.
this is what, we were talking about players that bet, like betting against. I think you should be allowed to put a bet on yourself. Like, have that belief, like, I'm going to score a hat trick. Like the whole.
I think I
fine
understand.
line,
I
innit,
understand
that?
what you mean. I think the problem with that is, it's like, the question is, if you've bet on yourself, does that affect your performance? Does that affect your
and
game?
I think it should do.
Does that make
like
you
the
shoot when
Muhammad
you
Ali
shouldn't?
thing when he went, he had it on the bottom of his boots. He said, "I'm going to knock this guy out in the 8th round," and then he showed he had it written on the bottom of his boots.
Yeah.
Still 0-0.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should have gone for
but
another
Marcus
two.
Rashford's come on now. So it
Rashford's come on,
won't be
yeah.
0-0 for much longer. Don't you fucking
Come
worry
on,
about
Marcus.
that. Jason Smith, welcome to the Academy.
Really nice
Thanks for all
balls
your
on the pitch.
support, brother.
Who did Rashford replace? I missed that.
Was it Saka?
Mount, surely.
Was it Saka who went off? Yeah.
Is it?
Kyle Saka was gone off. Mason
stayed
Mount,
So,
Mount still on.
One chance,
Foden,
one chance,
Mount.
and 2 substitutions left.
Thing is, if England don't win this, it'll be the Mount thing, won't it? It'll be like, why did they leave Mount on? Or why did they put Henderson on?
Are you insinuating that the English press and fans will turn on someone and blame
Yeah, exactly.
blame
Yeah,
exactly what I'm
all
doing.
on one person?
Exactly.
I
It's not
cannot
been
believe
When
that.
it goes
So
one
have to
wrong
do
in
it. It's
one
not
game
been good
goes
enough,
wrong.
like,
No.
for men. They've not
It's
played well.
not,
US
it's
have
not.
done well. To
Put
be
you to
fair.
fucking sleep this game.
What they're doing is they're just setting this up so it's going to be a
I've
cracker
never
on
talked as
Tuesday
much on a
against
watch
Wales.
along about.
Someone
a
said
load of
about
stuff, like,
10 minutes into the second
Hey,
half. Is the
I've
second half
never-
started? Because these
Oh,
lot
yeah.
these lot haven't
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
mentioned it
So
once.
usually you have a nice chat, but then they go back to the game. This one has just been pure chat.
Another
None of the
foul for
game.
Grealish, told you.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Now you just
That's
need
what I did.
him to do that round the
Stand
box.
Yeah.
You know when we won, but right at the end there was all that defending
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
right.
Oh, that was horrible. That. Your boy. Oh no, it wasn't your boy Bruno.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, what was he doing in that last minute? He gave me a heart attack, bro. Do you remember when he fucking
doing? Yeah,
Fred was away and instead he
Yeah.
fucking turns and plays
Yeah.
it into the middle?
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh my god, I love Bruno as well,
Yes.
but I was like, what
Maguire.
are you doing?
Oh,
See, but why wouldn't
Harry's
put Champions
holding
like that in
himself.
for United? He's confident.
Harry's
Like,
holding his glutes. That
He's
looks
done
like
well, Harry Maguire.
I think we might need to swap Harry out. He looks like he's
He
carrying something.
did hold himself there.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer, get warm.
Fucking hell.
He's
Says
a-
it all.
he's
that
a-
doesn't
Get warm. He's had to stand
He's
up,
another
walk
one.
all the way down the bench, and then shout it to him so he can hear.
I tell you what, this is why they don't need to warm up anymore. Just walking from the end of the bench to the technical box. It's like,
Come on,
don't do
lads.
any more. We'll save your energy.
It's funny that they call it a bench because it's just not a bench anymore, is it?
The US
They're
the US
proper
are popping
chairs.
us here.
Here we go.
Go on, Jack.
It's a bad ball, that, bro.
US popping us,
That
mate.
is.
That's better. Go on.
Look how deep your striker is there.
Yeah, I think.
Harry Kane playing centre
He
dash.
just dropped deep, Kane, but that's
Yeah.
that's so deep.
Centre
that.
dash. He's playing
Mind you,
CDM here.
he's done that a lot for Spurs, and he's done well doing that.
Yeah.
Come on,
He
Mount.
do-
Go on, Mount.
I've never
Silence your
doubted
critics.
you,
Go
Mount.
on, son, all the way.
Mount, I've
Go
never
on.
doubted you, mate.
One more. Who's there?
Who's alongside
Where's
him?
Marcus?
Goodness me.
Trippier. Whippage.
Oh my
Was
God.
was that Henderson?
Yeah, that's Henderson. That's horrendous.
Sub him off.
That's an hard technique to do. What's he doing, the donut?
I mean,
Pick it
actually,
up.
it's impressive that it landed in the 6-yard box.
I know, I
It did
thought that
come
was
d-
destined
Did come down
for-
with snow on it.
Destined for
Don't want it.
the fucking stands.
Didn't England draw 0-0 against Scotland in the Euro
Yeah.
groups and then went on to get to the final? So
There
Yeah,
you go, you see, it's
it's-
what we do.
Oh,
Football,
I love
that's our
positivity.
heritage.
I like that. I like a bit
Aye.
of positivity. But US have looked well better than us today.
We drew in our group game in 1966 in one of them.
And
Maybe
this-
two of them, I
Who
think.
is it against? Like North
Uruguay
Korea
or something. Aye. Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's mad.
Free kick.
This sets.
It's very rare that someone wins like whoever wins the World Cup wins every game, isn't
I
it?
think
Yeah.
it's only happened once.
Really?
Yeah.
They've won well, Portugal won the Euros in
Yeah, we drew our
2016.
first
They only
game.
won one game in normal time.
That's mental.
One game all tournament.
We drew our first game against Uruguay. There you go.
It was George.
0-0.
Big George Weah.
Didn't he
Tough
become
group,
like a
that.
politician in Liberia, like the
Yeah,
president of Liberia or something?
he was.
Yeah.
And then it was also because of him that the young lad played for Southampton. Do you remember him?
Ali Dia.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
George Weah's
Well,
cousin.
it wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't anything to do with him. It was just
Yeah.
something I
He said
liked.
it was something to do
Graham
with it.
Souness being a fucking whopper.
Somebody, this is before the internet. Somebody called Graham Souness and said it was George Weah and said, "Look, my cousin's here. We have a look at him."
Jesus, he
Yeah,
looks
well,
like
let's
his dad.
give him a
Seen, though,
trial.
the
Sure, mate,
interview
that
with-
Reina.
with Matt
Yeah,
Letizier,
that's
Looks
right.
like his dad,
Pepe
doesn't it?
Reina.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
Spit of his dad.
Have you ever seen the interview with Matt Letizier about like, Ali Dia thing?
No.
He said that Ali Dia came down to the ground, or down to training, had a training session with him. None of them thought he was that good. Then he was named on the bench for the weekend.
Because at the time, Southampton were littered with injuries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were a bit like, well, fucking hell, he's on the bench. And then Letizier went off in the first half or something, he got injured, and he brought him on.
Great
and then he
pass.
ended up subbing him later.
It was. I think it lasted.
Terrible.
It's like 7 or 14 minutes or something.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like running around, like no idea what was going on.
But didn't he have like a half? I say half decent, like a fifth decent career after?
I think he went to
leaving
like
Southampton.
non-league. Like he was basically a non-league player.
But imagine
But he
signing
blagged it.
him after that. Like, imagine. You have to
Don
be.
Shaw. Very good.
But
Go on.
Just to put that on your
Back
CV.
yourself.
Because he's literally on your CV.
Yeah, he got his bought
You know how
another
Premier League.
you get
Played
up a
in
little
the
bit.
Prem,
Yeah,
haven't you?
Premier League player. Played at
Yeah.
the highest level of English football
Yeah,
for
fair
7
play.
minutes.
Didn't someone fake that with PSG recently as well? So it was. I mean, it wasn't as big as that as he actually got on the pitch, but I feel like somebody somehow used like Photoshop and stuff and blagged himself to get
Wow.
like
Mate, that's
signed on
mental
for
if that's
PSG
the
or
case.
something. I mean, don't quote me on that. But I feel
Oh no, he
like
played.
it
He
rings
played
a bell.
50 minutes. He got.
Wow.
he?
Came on in the 32nd minute and got subbed in the 85th.
He must have been.
I think it was only because
bad.
they had to go out and
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
another
yeah.
player
Blow it.
to come on and take
Blow
it.
it.
But
Let's
he'd
give
had
the ball
trials
away.
at Gillingham, Bournemouth, and Rotherham,
Here we go.
and was at Blythe Spartans in the non-league. So yeah, done well to get her.
Great.
What-
Oh, what a ball.
What an
Oh.
excuse to the manager, Blythe Spartans. I can't play this weekend, Gaffer. Why? I'm in Premier League.
I'm playing for Southampton. What? What are you on about?
Yeah.
Talking
You're on
shite.
bench, mate.
Yeah.
He got one appearance for Blythe Spartans as well.
Did they?
One.
He must have realised as well. Shambles.
It's
I think
amazing.
this is going to be 0-0, everyone.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I'm missing the ballet for this.
the ballet.
Yeah. Supposed to be going to Matthew Bourne's Swan Lake.
Oh right.
Seriously.
Are you sad?
I am
You
now.
didn't go.
I was fuming before. And now I'm like, at least I would have seen some, like, something
Is-
beautiful.
Is that like? Is that good? That do you just like buy a ticket, go in, sit down, the show starts, and they all dance?
What are you on about?
Don't
Ballet.
even know here.
Yeah. The ballet. Yeah. I might have to go to the ballet.
You've
I'm
never
surprised
been.
What it's all
RH,
about.
Better
do
not
you,
watching
do you
this.
use some of that in your because didn't Wimbledon do that for a little while back in the Crazy Gang days? They brought in a ballet teacher, and
Eh?
you were around the time. Yeah, so
Yeah, I've heard this.
they won the FA Cup against Liverpool, and one of the things they put it down to was like the culture, and they did stuff like they gave them ballet lessons to improve their balance.
Did the ballet teacher teach them how to be shit houses?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, going back, you were saying earlier about shouting at players on the pitch and giving them a right earful. There was a thing with Fashanu and Vinnie Jones, and Fashanu was the captain, and apparently, like, a lot of the time, the referee would come up to Fashanu as the captain and say, "Better tell Jones to stop that, or he's going off." Right? So Fashanu would go over to him and be shouting at the top of his voice, going, "Look, you idiot! What are you doing? Keep doing it, mate.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're fucking doing." But he's watching me. Do you remember that game against United in the cup when we were in the green and gold, where Eric
That was
scored
a
that
good
world
kick,
there?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
fucking, there's one point,
that's
Vinnie
a
Jones,
goal,
where he
that.
sat on the deck and he tries to swear.
Go on, you in. Come on, Rasha.
Go on, Marcus.
Good feet.
Look at that.
Need some around him.
We'll go quiet on the United players.
Oh,
No.
look.
Go on! Go on. Oh, I should have. Go on now!
Oh,
Oh,
it's a fucking
Oh, that was
pass
more
back.
trajectory, more than
he
pace,
just
innit?
lost his nerve a little bit there.
There's no
Unlucky,
momentum.
Marcus.
It was a nice move, though.
Better.
Better him and Grealish linking up there.
Yeah.
Second shot on target there, Alexi says. Is that our second shot on target?
That was
Doesn't
just
he look like Alexi Lallis, the centre back there that's on
Remember
the
him?
ball now?
He scored against England, didn't he?
Did, yeah.
Didn't they beat us in that tournament? or-
No, they stopped. They beat England and
that
that stopped
was-
England going.
It was like,
It was a friendly or something.
yeah, it was a friendly one. It.
But it shocked everyone then, and then England never made it. It was only Graham Taylor was in charge.
Yeah, I
I think.
remember that.
been very
Fucking joke.
Never made it to the
Unconvincing,
'94 World
innit, like-
Cup.
Not been great, has
There's
it, mate?
not been much.
Fair play
talk
to the
about. In
US,
fact, there's
though.
been nothing positive really.
But this
take
is.
from this game.
I tell you what, this is going to make like America Iran is always going to be a tasty match. But this is now like
Crazy, isn't it?
So Iran currently, before this game, Iran were top of the group. After the game, it'll be England on 4, Iran on 3, USA on 2, Wales on 1. So actually, potentially, anybody could qualify from this group if it stays like
Yeah.
I
this.
ain't going to get that, is there?
Just yeah, because after that result today, you just sort of thought, well, England are going to win the group.
Yeah.
Well, far from it.
Mate, you got the keeper playing out from the back, taking a mick. Keeping the ball.
And
They've just kept the ball, USA.
Mate, they've been good. Look at the keep.
oh, this reminds me of the last World Cup with the Germans against South Korea.
Taking
That
a
was
mick, the
brilliant.
keeper. Look at this move. Imagine if they score from this.
This would be like Barcelona-esque.
Mate.
Southgate out.
Oh no.
The USA game.
Took it off him
Oh,
there.
no,
my
look at this
God.
for a move, by the way. Total football. Oh. Where's he going? That's good.
Yeah, very unconvincing.
Look at this.
Ain't it mad, innit?
Fucking hell.
It's bad, innit?
What are we
Look at
doing?
the keeper, mate. The keeper's having a right good time, mate.
Hey.
It's like the monk
We're gonna-
off Mean Machine.
we're gonna
There's no one
change-
there.
yeah.
It's just no one. Everyone's in England now.
That is fucking
Mate, This is
embarrassing.
mental.
Hey, you'd think we need a point to go through.
Can we change the ticker on the screen so it says like hide behind the sofa along? Because it's like,
Mate,
oh my
this is
God.
mental.
Through your fingers along.
We're going to do another
Okay, yeah,
added
how many
time
minutes?
prediction.
I'm gonna go 3.
I think 4.
I'm
Of the
gonna-
subs.
Oh,
I'm-
I'll say 4.
There's just
I'm just
fuck all
gonna say
happened
2.
in this game.
I'll say 5 then.
But I think the substitutions may have encouraged a bit.
Anderson.
That's how thrilling this game is.
Henderson's the only one pressing.
Jordan
that.
Henderson's like the fucking.
Look at this.
leading
Is that
line.
Henderson?
Yeah. Mate, they're
Where's
taking
Kane?
a piss. Look at this. Fair play to the US here. Just popping
Kane's
it.
in the middle now.
It's got nothing.
Where are you going there? Done well to get a free kick. 'Cause he's
Got no
going
options
fucking
there,
nowhere.
But Southgate, again, the other thing that Southgate is good at, I think, is processes. And what he's looked at is what the stuff we were talking about before, about like actually sometimes to win one of these tournaments, you just need like steady results, 1-0, 2-0.
Yeah.
You know, and you pick it and you go, get a draw here, win that game, try get this
sums it
game.
up, doesn't it?
No, I know what you mean.
Whip it.
Like,
Go on then.
like if
That's
this
better. Well
if this
done,
finishes
come on.
0-0, everyone will just go mental, but he'll just be chill about it.
Yeah.
And he'll just
Yeah.
say, it's
Do-
fine.
do-
We
you
just
say-
got to beat
We
Wales.
did it in the
innit?
Euros, didn't we, against Scotland?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone was losing their minds then, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were.
4. I said 4.
Get a cookie, Jake. Well done, bud.
Get after the game's finished. Little treat.
Now
for
you
myself.
get milk, innit?
Do you know what I
that.
mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glass of milk.
Because on the other game, it was your daughter's birthday. You could give it as like a birthday present for her.
Wow.
on my way out of the house because I won't be living there anymore. That's a fucking birthday present.
No, like it's a birthday
Little
week, isn't
treat,
it? A little
yeah.
extra, a little extra. I'm not saying like,
No,
I'm
not
taking
really.
that coat back
Yeah.
I got you. Kane.
Got a big Maguire
If you
header
score
right
it.
to death.
Maguire.
Harry
No,
Maguire.
Ma-
And then he can
Maguire
stick
overhead
his
kick.
fingers
Yeah.
in his ears, slide about, and he'll be.
Come on.
Here he is.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay. They always
That's
look.
twice.
They always look for him, don't they?
Yeah.
Offset pieces.
headed it down a bit too much.
Yeah, he didn't need that. Get on with it, you. Sorry.
I mean, England ain't gonna win it back anyway. Look at them retreating.
Oh, my.
It's like a
Getting behind the
whatever
ball.
that hill battle was.
Bunker Hill.
It's like just like Bunker Hill. It's
Okay,
exactly like Bunker Hill.
It is.
Honestly,
everyone behind the ball,
the English retreating right at the end. It's just like Bunker Hill.
mate.
This will be the second. This will be
What
the
is
second
going
greatest
on here?
victory over.
Go on then.
Oh, they've gone
We're in.
Jack.
Go on
Come
then.
on.
Give it Rashford.
Well done, Jack. Jackie boy. Where's he going now?
Oh, though that's a blatant.
Another free kick
Lovely.
from Grealish.
He's won more fucking free kicks than anyone in the
Another
history
free
of
kick.
football.
Told you. I told you. Trippier whipped this one in.
Squared
Oh.
up to the ref there. What happened with it?
What are you?
Short to Maguire. Imagine.
Hey.
Imagine.
The referee just sprayed his own boots then. With that.
What even is that spray made of?
It's like shaving foam, basically. It's
Really?
kind of
Well, what
so
shaving
it disappears
foam?
after like a few seconds. So like it'll
Need
last
a
for
right
minute.
footer on it. Why don't you whip that in
What
there, right leg?
chemicals are in it?
Get a white.
If it's
Get a,
organic.
oh, it's coming out to win. The keeper's catching this.
90 seconds
You need
left.
a right
Oh, that's
foot on
that
it.
Spencer FC guy.
God. Not anyone in here nowadays.
Need
Come
a
on.
right
Oh.
footer on this, lads.
Harry's touching his ears. That's a good sign. He's warming
Go on,
up for the
Harry.
celebration.
Go on, my son.
Come on,
Hey.
Leaky boy.
Let's get it for the siege of the wall.
It's a great ball.
Oh!
Oh, it's a great ball, that from Shaw.
Who was that? Kane.
That was a great ball. Oh,
That is a
Score that.
great header.
got to do better.
Just the aiming
Oh,
is
he's
so
got-
far off.
Yeah.
Yo, he's fucking miles away.
Heads it with his forward,
Such-
with his top of
He,
his.
was,
such
he
great
wasn't
power.
really marked that tightly as well. He got away from
RH,
his
what
man.
would you do with that now? How long would it take you to fix that?
Fucking hell. after watching these today. Oh, God knows.
Would this be like? Would you throw a pizza at someone? You'd be so annoyed.
Throw a
with this.
boot at someone's eye, I think.
Kick it.
Kick it, yeah. I know what you're saying about Southgate. Be relaxed about it. They won the first game. This is if they get. A
Go on,
point,
Marcus. Chase it down, son. Keep going.
But for me,
It's not
like,
like they've
you just
lost.
got to win these games. You know what I mean? If you want to win the World Cup, no disrespect to the US, but you need to be beating.
It's
the
never
US.
a foul.
I don't know. I just don't think that's true. I just think that if you lose,
This
if you
is-
draw
this
this
is in
game
there.
and then you win it, it's Wales.
Honestly, I told you
No,
to
I
watch
know,
him.
but still, like,
Because it's good to have an off game now, like Argentina did, rather than have an off game later on in the tournament.
no, I get that. I get your point, but it's not been great. has it?
been
If you're
poor.
looking at this,
It has
if you're looking at this, it's been like, oh my God,
It's been
poor.
really poor.
You'll time to put it in the corner here,
Yeah.
now, probably.
You have to remember as well, like the USA had to win this game.
Yeah.
So like they've been well up for it, and they've played very well.
But yeah, but the
we should give them credit for it.
100%. Totally.
Wales
Okay,
gonna
going
be
in the
up for it.
corner, what they're doing? Got a chance to win the game, lads.
That's mental.
do you know who's named
Over,
after?
lads.
Rainer.
It's over.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, Giovanni.
Finito.
Giovanni Van
0-0.
Bronckhorst.
Finito, a nice
England
0-0.
0, USA 0. RH, quickly, your thoughts on that one, brother?
Not great, mate, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Great to be here with you lads, as
Yeah, man.
always.
Had a laugh.
Pleasure. But wasn't as performance wasn't great
As you
for me.
said, I don't think I've done a watch along where we spoke about the game less than
Yeah.
us four, and there's four of us on it, have done tonight. Dre, what did you think of that?
I thought England were poor, and I thought USA were surprisingly quite good. And fair play to them. And like I just said like a minute ago, I think England will they'll chill out within the camp. They'll think we ain't won today, while all the noise is going on outside, and they'll just go into the Wales game and probably win it. To be fair,
And thoughts?
I'd like to apologise to Matthew Bourne and the ballet company, but I have bought a more upgraded ticket for tomorrow night. I'll be there. That would have been a much better way to spend this evening.
Yes,
Ballet.
Ant's going to be back at the ballet very, very soon. Ant, where can people find you?
Check out Wrestling with the Champ. That's the podcast, or you'll find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ant McGinley. Thank
Go
you
and
very
check
much.
out Ant RH Elite Coaching. There's links in the description for everyone, by the way.
Thank you very
Go and
much.
check him out on the socials. Check out on socials. Dre, when you're not being shunned by Stephen Alson and Ronaldo Brown in Qatar, where can people find you?
Well, yeah, I'm on Steve's channel. Every now and again, I'm on here. And if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's at Dr. Adre LB. And also, you can follow my at Espresso Don on TikTok, where I review espressos and give them a score out of 10.
Nice.
But I've kind of it's gone quiet a bit on the old TikTok
Been
page. But it's gonna
focusing
get louder again soon.
Focusing on the doctor stuff. On
Yeah,
the
I've had
medical
loads of
profession.
patients,
It's a long-
like,
it's not easy,
operations, surgery.
Especially
oh
with the
my
way
God.
things are. Listen, it's been a good laugh. England 0. It's not the end of the world. We've got 4 points from the first
the
two
RH.
games.
Yeah, top of the group. Top of the
the
group.
RH.
Up the RH, up the Paddock, up the Ant McGinley, up the Dre, up
Yes.
everyone. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, Paddock will be in Dublin on the 30th of December
get your
with
tickets.
Brian McClare. Get your tickets, link in the description. Thanks for watching.